Yes. I know. All right, let's calm down. Hello, everybody. It is I, the Mentok, the Prophet, YouTube Savior, Origin Oracle, the knower of all things, until somebody in the comment section says I'm not as knowledgeable as I think I am. What's going on, everybody? Happy 2023 to you all. Welcome to the new year. This is the first Mentok. I feel like I'm way too high right now. I gotta lower myself. There it is. Welcome to the first stream of 2023, everybody. We are going to be diving into the Sonic IDW comics. I've been wanting to cover these comics for a very long time because I talk about them every so often in a video. So I think it's about time that we read them. I'm going to try and see if I can get to the comics and like get into the nitty gritty and like get through the first saga of all of this. And then if you guys want me to make videos based off of what we read today, I'm happy to do so. But I think this is the first step on a pathway to showing off these comics, because I think the art's great, the characterization is great, everything. So this is my first time rereading it since they first came out, maybe like 5 years ago, right? I think we're about 5 years into the comics, so it's gonna be interesting seeing what we have here. I want to welcome everybody first. Blood Demon, None Left, Eric, what's going on? Divided Jester, Mimi, hello, what's going on? Ethereal Dragon, my mod, welcome. What's playing right now? All right, let me put on something a little bit more ambient. The man himself is here too. Look who decided to pull up to the stream. The man himself. Doc, what's going on? Welcome, everybody. What's been going on? How'd the holidays go for everybody? I know I haven't done a stream in a long time. I think the last stream I did was the Game Awards, which was like a month ago. So it feels like it's been longer than it actually has been. But you know, I've been kind of relaxing a little bit and trying to get into the flow of like uploading a video weekly. This week, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. That's why I'm doing a stream instead. But I figure covering the Sonic IDW comics would be pretty nice. So let's give a shout out to the IDW team, Ian Flynn, and all the other art directors and all the product managers that have come together to allow us to do this today. Yes. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'm not going to take up too much of your time stalling. We'll get into it. I have a lot of this prepared already. Let me play something a little bit more upbeat, because Frontier's music gets a little draining sometimes, and not in a bad way. Like, it's just very emotional most of the time. All right, let's try something like this instead. There we go. King Raiko saying, I like this comic, though parts of it make me scratch my head. Well, I think... So let me put you guys into the space that we need to be in first before I start this. By the way, if you guys enjoyed the animation that you saw from the jump, let's see, not this one. So if you guys enjoyed that, Sonic Rebound is actually the name of an animated series that's on YouTube right now, where these guys are actually animating the entirety of the IDW comics. So I don't know how far they are right now, but they started 2 years ago. If you guys like that intro animation, go ahead and check them out, because not only have they animated them, they've redubbed the voices and all that stuff too. So you have like a total set of animations that are just like basically pretty well done, in my opinion. This guy has other stuff going on his channel, Gamer Guy D7 Aces. I wonder if he follows me. I don't know. But you know, some good animation there, so go ahead and check them out. Sonic Rebound. They did a preview for episode 6, which is what you saw in this clip earlier today. So I don't know how far they're going to be going, but very talented animators. You can see how well how much better they've gotten over time. You believe in whisper supremacy. All right, let's get into it. I'm not going to stall anymore. Hopefully my chat is up to date here. All right, so I have all this prepared already, and what I'm going to do is go through the very first saga of Sonic IDW. By the way, welcome to all the new subscribers, because I know I've been doing like a lot of stuff in the Mario realm lately, so I think I have like a bunch of new people who have discovered my stuff via the Mario side of things. And don't worry, we'll be getting back to Mario this year. I'm going to be doing some more origin oracles for those characters and things like that. So if you guys are interested in that Mario like comic sets and, you know, things that I did with Bowser and Princess Peach and stuff like that, I'm going to be doing more of that at the beginning of this year. So I think the next video I put out is going to be Mario related. I just had to take a quick detour, and that's why I did the chili dog thing. I figured it was a fun New Year's video, you know? So your boy got to get into the cooking nitty gritty IRL streams or whatever. I don't know. We'll see where the channel goes, but I love all the growth that's been happening over the last few months. So thank you guys, any new subscribers, and welcome. All right. My wallpaper, yeah, bruv. I don't know where my One Piece fans at. I have a nice little extravagant wallpaper of Nami on my background here, but whatever. I switch them out from every time to time. I gotta make sure anytime someone sees a flash of my wallpaper, they're like, hey, yo, what's going on back there? The One Piece is real, man. I believe it. All right. Welcome, everybody. We're gonna settle in now. I'm gonna start with the very first comic, Sonic IDW, Sonic the Hedgehog from 2018. I think it actually started back in what, January of 2018. So we're exactly 5 years ahead of the game right now. So bear with me though, because the Amazon Kindle app sucks quite a bit. So it's gonna take a little second to load up some of these pages. But what I'm gonna do is just read through them to the best of my ability, and then once we've gotten to, like, I'm gonna jump in from time to time and kind of to say how I feel about certain pages and things like that. Because I know that some of this characterization and plot lines come into question every so often. So we'll see what we can do. So I'm gonna set the stage really quickly. Issue 1, before we get into it, I want everybody to understand that this comic came out during a time, 2018. So this was shortly after the release of Sonic Forces, right? So we had Mania and Sonic Forces that just released the year prior. What a lot of people are missing. Why is this taking so long to load? Come on now. This is 2020, 2022, 2023, actually. I'm all off on the years now. All right, here we go. Finally. And then full screen. Come on, we can do this. Okay, there we are. All right, so yeah, this is part of a new set of comic books that came out in 2018. So as you guys know, a little bit prior to that, the Archie comics were discontinued. And a lot of people were upset over that fact, right? And I think there were some issues with Sega and Archie, or they just decided not to renew the contract with them. The writer at the time, Ian Flynn, who was in charge, this is after the Ken Penders era. If you guys don't know about Ken Penders, maybe that's for a separate stream entirely, but this is something that was created out of the discontinuation of the original Archie comics. So they got to deal with this new publisher, IDW, who also has worked on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. They published that, and I think Spawn as well, or maybe I'm thinking Dark Horse, but pretty sure that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is part of this. And so they picked it up with the same writers. So Ian Flynn was in charge. And this was shortly after Sonic Forces, where people were hungry for any type of plot line that involved Sonic the Hedgehog in general. So this is essentially what we got. And at the time, Ian Flynn was not writing anything related to the games for Sonic. And I think this was when we had Sonic Forces, like the whole idea that Eggman took over the world and stuff like that. People thought we were going to get a more plot-oriented Sonic game, which is not what we got. We got something that was a little bit lacking on the story side. Like, even though the setup was great, I don't think it 100% delivered. And even though, like, I'm not like the biggest hater of Sonic Forces, I actually really enjoyed it on my first playthrough. The second time was a little dull, but the first time around, I thought it was pretty decent, and I loved creating the avatar and stuff like that. But the story is what underwhelmed me most of all. IDW produced Godzilla comics as well, so there you go. They've been going bananas on TMNT. I think this is a great publisher. I don't know what their profits are like, but you know, they've done a pretty good job with this comic book so far, in my opinion. But where's the thumbnail from? It's from this saga. It's from one of these issues. So we'll be seeing that thumbnail pretty soon because Sonic and Metal Sonic will scrap. I don't want to spoil anything as of yet. So anyway, so once we got to this IDW comic, we were starting to get a plot line that was more involved with the games that we've already played. So just to set the context for you guys, this very first issue starts right after Sonic Forces. So now that Frontiers is out and Ian Flynn's a little bit more involved within the story and the lore of the Sonic world, it looks like they're trying to consolidate all of these canons into one. I don't know how they're planning on doing that, but Frontiers has showed us that all of these characters will be canon at some point or somewhat canon. So this is kind of an important reading at this point. So just assume that all of this happened after Sonic Forces, and that's all we know. And then it kind of like, derives into its own little thing. But seeing that all of this is going to be possibly important in future Sonic games, we don't know at this point. It's a good way to get an idea of what's going on. There's a lot of controversy around Sonic's characterization in this comic book as well, but I'll say my thoughts about that as we go on. So, all right. So now that you guys have like an idea of what's going on, let's jump into it. Music is a bop though, always. This music, I always got to play the right music, bro. This shit's important. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Blood Demon saying, just asking because I'm concerned for Sonic. Sonic's comic history is longer than my dad's quest for milk. That's a good one. Okay. All right. We got some jokesters in here. Otis Small, by the way, welcome. I didn't say what's up. The Power Rangers Godzilla crossover also rules. I didn't even know that's a thing. You know what I mean? I love all of that stuff. I wonder if Frontiers will have any effect on IDW's world. That's yet to be seen at this point. I'm not totally caught up on the IDW lore. I think I'm like 3 issues out, but let's get into this and see what we can uncover real quick. Welcome, Princess Emerald, by the way. Thanks for finally coming through to a stream. I know you apologize in all the Discord, by the way. If you guys don't follow me on Discord or Twitter, go ahead and check the description below. Follow one of those things. It helps me out, gives me some internet clout, if you know what I'm saying. Help your boy get to 100,000 subs by building up my social media. It's important, I guess. So if you guys are down for any of those, it's in the description. And also like the stream. Let's get this going. Okay. So issue 1. I do have let me see if I can turn the guided view on because I think it's pretty cool just to. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Am I looking at the right thing though? No, I'm not. Let's back it up then. Okay. So we begin with a narration. Ready? Let's see if I can
pitch myself. Oh, that's cool. All right. We're going to start here. Ready? Sonic the Hedgehog has spent years fighting the forces of Dr. Eggman. Okay, how do I move this? There we go. Time and again, the Mad Doctor attacks. Sonic strikes back, then reflects until Eggman returns. But after their last battle, Dr. Eggman vanished.
Which is ominous in itself, right? But if you guys take a look at this machine here, this is the final boss of Sonic Forces. So what they're jumping off here is that you don't see Eggman at the end of Sonic Forces. So I think, honestly, they're writing this around an oversight on Sega's part, because once Sonic and the others destroy Eggman at the end of that game, you don't see him. He doesn't say, "I'll get you next time, Sonic," or anything of that order. He just freaking disappears, much like Infinite did at the end of this. So I thought this was a pretty interesting panel. It also references other boss battles from other games. Like this is from Sonic Unleashed, this is from Sonic Heroes, and this is Sonic Adventures. So I really love these references. We weren't getting a lot of those at this time. Now I know it's a meme entirely in the Sonic community, but this is actually pretty damn cool. Comic characters were mentioned in Frontiers. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm saying they're trying to canonize this. So we'll see how that goes in the future. I like the comic characters, by the way, but we'll get to them very soon. So let's continue.
But his robot army did not.
Uh-oh, that doesn't look good. All right, so we have Sonic approaching. Sounds like the locals are putting up a fight. Excuse my shitty Sonic voice, but we'll work with it. I hope they don't mind me lending a hand. All right, so The setting is set up here where it's still, Eggman's forces are still kind of an issue post Sonic forces, right? They still have to stop and liberate some of these towns from Eggman's robots and things like that. Even though you defeat Eggman, you would assume his robots are still running rampant. So I do like that they're addressing this. These are the things that we don't see addressed in actual Sonic games. Like what happens after Eggman's defeated and all of his robots need to be mopped up and stuff. So this is where we're starting now. Run! Get to... Can I give these people different voices? Like, let's... Run! Get to the... Wait.
Test.
No, let's up my pitch.
There we go. Run! Get to the storm bunker!
Jesus Christ! I would love to see an Eggpon actually just kill somebody off. Oh, this guy's dead. Alright, so Eggpons are pulling up, and here's Sonic. So... I remember like these setup things I really love. So what we're gonna see is in each issue is a breakdown of each character. So it's gonna start with Sonic, followed by Tails, followed by Amy and Knuckles, and we'll get like an idea of how their characters are gonna be written going forward. So, hey, you hurt?
No, not really. You're Sonic. Oh my God.
The one and only. Here you go. Try swinging it at the robots next time. I knew somebody who would put it to good use.
You're the Sonic.
Or take... So I love the Wispin idea too. So these are items that were developed within Sonic Forces. And what they're based around aliens called Wisps that were introduced in Sonic Colors, right? So a lot of these have special powers. These aliens can provide people with special powers to, drill into the ground or turn things into cubes or things like that. So what Forces did was implement customized weapons based around those abilities, which I think is a very smart use of that type of race. We haven't seen the Wisp. I think they're slowly phasing out the Wisps at this point, but I do think that the Wispin thing is pretty damn cool. All right, next. Maybe get inside, buddy. Nice chat. Need to save your town. Bye.
Okay.
Sweet. The town militia. Wait, who's talking? Bots coming in from the north. You've got a guy holding his own out there.
Okay, we're on it.
I'm gonna give everybody, like every NPC, the same voice.
Everybody's gonna sound like this.
All right, we're on it.
Hurry up! They're closing in! I'm trying. It's stuck.
Whoosh. Hey, this is Sonic pulling up to the scene. Very nice, done. Pants bad, hammer good. Yeah, basically. So yeah, what we're seeing here is just the setup of the world so far. And as far as where the comics are now, they don't lean on Forces too much. So I kind of like how they started with this centralized point at the end of Sonic Forces and kind of break off from there. Okay, so Sonic's doing his thing.
All this terror might be worth it if I get to say Sonic winked at me. I hope we survive long enough to get his autograph.
So what's cool here is that these guys are actually like swooning over Sonic, and I think what we don't see a lot in games is this characterization that Sonic is this well-known hero amongst his world. I don't think there was much time to really do that within Sonic Frontiers, and considering the world is kind of empty, the only other type of people that were around was the custom character. So a lot of these little NPCs, as I like to call them, are based around this resistance that was created, but they all look like, you know, a mishmash of different custom characters from that game. It's just interesting to see people like look at Sonic as a hero within the comic books, because we don't really see a lot of people outside of the main cast in Sonic games. Just pointing that out there. I would love to see that. We haven't seen that since Unleashed, actually. So I'd love to see that come back. I could be wrong. No, I'm pretty sure Unleashed was the last time. How many Sims does Sonic have? That'd be good to know. You know what I mean? I would love like an open world game that's more populated and people are like, you know, commending Sonic as he walks through like each town and stuff like that. It'd be nice. I don't know, just a little added thing to make him feel more like a hero. This is so awkward yet also very funny. Hey, I didn't say I was the best character voice person. I'm not a voice actor by any means, but I could be. All right. Wham! Reach! I'm not gonna read the sound effects, but you guys can kind of tell what's going on. Oh, hey, another hammer guy. I like the earlier one better. Where are you going? Okay, so what this comic does pretty well is actually animate Sonic's movement. So we can see him like we can see a lot of strength and power and speed behind his moves, which I think Frontiers did very well, by the way. So I have no critiques on that within the games if they continue down the Frontiers line. But it looks, very well based off of things like this, where like his pure speed is shown as power in this. Come on, big guy, swing, batter, batter, batter. Oh, that's a corny joke, man. Keep it going, swing. There's 2 of them. Oh, there's 3. Okay. Hey, this is some Rule 34 shit right here. Yeah, okay, this one's on me. All right, so a lot of action here. Hedgehog, noun, a burrowing animal. He's very snarky at the beginning of this. Whoa, you guys can really move when you want to. Tails. Oh, okay, I gotta pitch this up a little bit. Let's see what we can do here. Ready?
Could you not risk your... Why am I so reverby?
Let's turn my reverb. Is this better? No. Is this better? No. That's too high.
We gotta go up a little bit.
Let me find my proper Tails voice here.
That's way too high.
There we go. Let's do it this way. All right. Could you not risk your life for 5 minutes? No, that's not what Tails sounds like. I can't do a Tails impression, actually. Could you not risk your life for 5 minutes? Sure, but where's the fun in that? Let's just keep it going. I'll practice my Tails voice after a while and see how far I get. Seriously though, thanks for the save. My pleasure. What's the status of this town? A bunch of small fry badniks. I took care of most of them, and the town's militia can handle the rest. Those super badniks are another story. Now, this is interesting in its own right, because like these are more or less bosses or like some derivative of like the Death Egg Pawns or whatever. I think that you fight a couple of these or something close to it in Sonic Forces, but these are its own thing in the comics, so this is something that I've never really seen before. You like that IDW gave Silver a reason to be in Forces? Yeah, I think I like Silver's characterization the best in this. It's really nice. So we'll see him in a little bit. Also, Sam is actually slower than Sonic and not as strong as Knuckles, but he gains power from those who believe in him. Sam? Oh, your OC character. Got it. Okay. I missed your last message, so I was wondering who the frick Sam was, but I get it now. Okay, cool. Those are better left to the professionals. Let's show them how it's done. Keep in mind, I'm reading this live, so I can't edit or do anything like too crazy. All right, so they do their little move from, I think this is actually from Sonic 4, Episode 2. If you guys remember, they had like these team-up attacks that they could do. That's probably a reference to that. And they completely shaved this robot in half. I wish I could do that in game. It'd be nice to see like, what game did that where you can like just slice robots in half? Maybe it was Nier Automata, something like that. It's either Nier Automata or one of those things. I'm forgetting the game, but I would love to see in the future, like while they're fixing the combat, like for Sonic Frontiers, to have like damage on robots that look kind of like this. It would be pretty damn cool. You've never read Fleetway before, so you can't vote. Fleetway is all right. Fleetway is definitely its own thing. Metal Gear Rising. Metal Gear Rising definitely did that. And that's definitely the game I'm thinking. Yes. Thank you guys. I would love to see some, I mean, I know that people already compared some of the Frontiers mechanics to Metal Gear Rising, but I'd love to see some damage to the robots in the future. That's like my only critique to Frontiers. Like, I want to see like some of that damage to those robots. Okay. Also, welcome Grace Kim. So here we have a few panels of Sonic and all of them destroying this. So the first saga, by the way, we're going to go through the entire first saga if possible. It is covering, I'm not going to spoil it actually, but it's about 12 issues. And these come out every month, except for like when they have breaks or special editions and things like that. So I don't think this should take too much time unless I continue stalling. All right, so we have them destroying this Eggman robot. Actually, I really like this too, because if you guys remember, there was a lot of criticism over Tails' characterization and in Sonic Forces. The whole Sonic, help me! If you guys remember that, it was quite a step back for Tails, and a lot of people defend that moment, and it's been actually addressed in Sonic Frontiers, which I liked. I don't know, there's some people online that don't like that idea either, but whatever. I think there's a lot of people on Twitter that just like to point out small things within the Sonic continuity that for some reason always gets traction, and then next thing you know, everybody in the Sonic community is discussing that one person in that one tweet. It's one of those things that gets on my nerves sometimes, but you know, hey, that's part of the Sonic discourse, you know, like conversation should be had about certain things. But what I don't like is when people phrase their opinions as like law, like, oh, this is not what Sonic's like. But it's like, that's kind of how you perceive this character for a very long time, but it doesn't mean that that's what the character is about. So, and I'm not saying that some of those, you know, critiques aren't valid, because there's going to be moments in time where the writers aren't going to get things right 100% of the time. So, you know, things happen, but I just love when the Sonic community freaking explodes over like the smallest opinion. It's like this very, very weird cycle when there's like a lack of Sonic news. It's crazy. Anyway, so people were like upset about how Tails was characterized in Sonic Forces. So I think that this very first issue hits the ground running with Tails. And it kind of shows his friendship with Sonic overall and how like good they are teaming up over the years. So nice detail, nice touch. This would be going a lot faster if we had Knuckles with us. Nah, we're doing fine. AKA fuck Knuckles. Fuck Knuckles, man. All right, no, I'm just kidding. I like Knuckles, but that was a very interesting statement from Tails. The remaining robots are making a run for it. We can't risk them attacking another town. You cut them off. I'll handle the supers, Badnik. On it. Okay, so they're taking down another one. This is like very action oriented now. They're like, Sonic comics are very good at this. And if you guys haven't watched Sonic Prime, it carries the same vibe too. It's very action oriented. I was actually pretty surprised about how much combat was in Sonic Prime. They definitely didn't disappoint on that end. Considering that Sonic Boom was like very, very lackluster when it came to like combat and animation. You know, funny show, but not, you don't watch that show for the fights. Sonic Prime actually looks like Sonic level and boss battle. So it carries this same vibe if you guys are curious and you haven't watched it. Grace Kim, are you out? I'm glad they addressed that in Sonic Frontiers, despite the fact that I didn't understand why people had an issue with Tails and Forces because you're a newbie. Yeah, you know, hey, it's just like, I think that Sonic Frontiers is addressing a problem overall in the Sonic continuity, that there is not a lot of continuity. Sometimes they'll refer to adventure and the events that happen there because they have to. Other times, like, it's kind of in there, but whenever there was a reference, people are like, oh my God, they're acknowledging those games that came before it. I think what people want is continuity, and you know, you don't want people retreading the same plot lines over and over. Tails went through a character arc where he was bettering himself and being more independent of Sonic, and then they kind of drew away from that, and then they're trying to do it again. So I think that's why people were a little upset about it. But if you haven't played a lot of those games, or you didn't grow up with them, then yeah, it seems a little bit less harmless in Forces on, you know, what went down with Tails. So, you know, both sides of the argument, it's not a big deal. It was like one throwaway line, and Tails wasn't exactly cowering the whole time, but it was something worth mentioning, and they did address that in Frontiers, which is pretty cool. All right, so this boss is, I mean, this robot's killed with finesse. They're almost out. Come on, Tails, hurry up. Oh, ye of little faith. Tails already has the whole place locked down. I love these moto bugs, by the way. I don't think were these in Forces? Yeah, I think they were, probably in Green Hill Zone. That's one of the oldest robots in the Sonic franchise, and I'm shocked that they still have these. Considering a lot of the other ones have been replaced with egg pawns, this is pretty cool that they stick around. Speaking of which, here are the egg pawns. I never really liked them. I thought they were pretty cool, but I prefer the badniks from the classics, and you know, I even preferred like the robots from 06, even though they're pretty generic overall. They're pretty cool. Well, expertly done. Bonus points for dramatic timing. Thank you, thank you. Give Tails his props. Another day saved thanks to Sonic and Tails. These rogue robots are more like pests than anything. Normally, I'd agree. But this was a much more coordinated attack, at least compared to anything we've seen lately. Really, I hadn't noticed. So I love this moment. I love this moment too. Reason why is in Sonic Adventure, Sonic would be a lot more sarcastic towards Tails at times. And that was kind of lost with their whole buddy-buddy relationship, which is great. But I think this is part of having like a best friend as well. So I'm glad that they acknowledge this, and Tails is like kind of a snarky dick. Sonic is like snarky dick to Tails in this particular moment. I think that's a nice callback to, you know, his being the way that he is in Sonic Adventure. Big Boss coming through with $1.
Goomba! Walk tall, be proud. Go Goomba!
Join the other Goombas!
Join the Goombas!
Bro, is it already time to have a lit live stream? Like a lit live reading? Am I gonna get lit on stream today? Is this what happens? You guys know whenever people donate, I gotta like shot the closest thing next to me, and it's Friday, you know? It's Friday, it's 2023. Your boy doesn't give a fuck. Let's go. Big Boss, bro, the one and only with $1 donation. Let's go. Oof. It's gonna be a lit live reading. Sonic IDW. The IDW stands for I drank wine. Or no, wait. I drank what? That's what the IDW stands for. If you guys didn't know. All right, thank you, Big Boss, bro, for coming through with that. Appreciate you. All right. Hey, you know, like I'm going through these chapters pretty damn slow, but as Ugly Sonic says,
You want me to go fast? That's Sonic's thing.
slow, baby. Let's gotta do it slow. All right, let's keep this going. IDW stands for I drink water. Probably. I have my water beside me too, so don't worry. May I ask, how do you know? How do I know what it stands for? I just made it up. Apparently, if you mix that with a Corona, it tastes like Dr. Pepper. Is that Dr. Pepper's secret? Like low key? Okay, fine. The egg hammers were new to the mix. That's not what I mean. All right, so before I get into that, let's talk about that last donation right here by Otis. My dog Otis Small saying IDW stands for I drink whiskey. Bro. Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that? Why wasn't the first thing I thought of? Your boy is... I'm getting slow with the jokes, man. Is this what 2023 has in store? I'm not as sharp as I used to be. Why isn't it playing? There it is.
Goomba! Walk tall, be proud.
Go
Go
Goomba!
Goomba! Join the Goombas!
Join the Goombas! Man, I need to review this movie, bro. I've had this donation alert for how long? I need to just finally just talk about that movie. I feel like I've been putting it off. People are like, bro, that movie sucks. Don't waste your time. But isn't that the point? Aren't you supposed to review sucky things? All right, this is for you, Otis. Your boy doesn't even have a shot glass here. Ugh. Ugh. That's delicious. That tastes great. All right. Let's continue. After we beat Dr. Eggman and his forces, we broke the Eggman Empire's control over our world. The Badnik army remained, but not as a unified threat. Any attacks seem more like accidents than aggression. But today, unified troop movements, super badniks being deployed, setting up ambushes, something is making Eggman's army more cohesive. Dum bum bum. So what could that mean? I'm gonna move myself down here. I feel like I'm less in the way down here. Points taken. Do you think Eggman is back? Without so much as an angry vlog? No way. After that last defeat, he'd make sure we knew he was back. The lack of fanfare is spooky, and I love Eggman's overall characterization in all this because it's true. Eggman does not do things in the shadows. Like, he'll prepare his plan in the shadows and then want to do it in the most extravagant way, and that's part of his character. Excuse me, part of his character. I think it's a very fascinating part of Eggman in general. He loves the fight. He's not gonna do something knowing that he'll win behind Sonic's back. Like, he expects Sonic to come in and stop him, and that part of the fight is part of the journey of him trying to get that world domination or build the Eggman land of his dreams or whatever. So
Goomba! Walk tall! Be proud!
another
Go
$2
Goomba!
donation by Otis Small over here,
Join the Goombas!
saying let's get Talk reading the same page over and over. Bro, hey, I feel like that's gonna be me at the end. Like, hey, I promised I would read all this for you guys, but your boy is too lit. Nah, just kidding. We're good. That's syrupy. That's shit. If you read later issues, Eggman is invincible when he throws hands. Can I say how much I love that too? I'm not gonna talk too much about it since we're talking about the very first saga, but later on in this, Eggman is actually physically powerful. Like, it's crazy. When I read that, I had a fanboy moment, man. I have a lot of appreciation for Eggman as a villain, but to see him go off, I don't know. If you guys enjoy this one, I'll do more live readings for future, arcs, and we can go through them because I'm excited to kind of show off that part of it. It's pretty fucking cool. All right, let's keep moving. In that case, I'll just keep doing what I've been doing. Those badniks are a threat to everyone, organized or not. I'll keep traveling around, smashing everyone I see. Hey, Sonic, yo, chill, bro. I know you're popular and all that, but goddamn, you don't gotta go around smashing everybody that you see. Shit. Yeah, right? Hey, yo, come get your boy. Somebody come get your boy, man. All right, whatever. Yeah, look at him stretching. It's like he's talking about smashing everybody he sees. Okay. Yeah, but if they're getting orders from someone, then it'll make it more fun. Just be careful, okay?
Hold on.
Is this the girl side? Why does my stuff sound like this?
Pitch up. There it is. Okay.
That's too female. Gotta turn it down a little bit.
Just be careful, okay?
That's the best it's gonna get.
If you get caught off guard again, get hurt.
Okay, so I actually like this too. So what they're referencing is the beginning of Sonic Forces. If you guys remember, Sonic is pretty much jumped by Infinite at the beginning and then gets captured right in front of Tails' eyes. So I like that they wrote this in because it does show like some trauma from Tails' end to see that happen to his friend and him not being able to do anything in that moment. I do like that they're referencing that. So some of these things I have to remember because when this came out, it was beginning of 2018. So I enjoyed Sonic Forces more after reading what came after. So if you guys haven't read this before, this is a good experience to kind of like give it a little bit more of a lift. I'm also waiting for an Infinite Redemption arc. I hope they didn't kill off that character. He had a lot of potential. They just didn't set him up properly. If he comes back, they had a great voice actor for him, Liam O'Brien, who's pretty damn good at being, brooding and all that stuff. He had a great design. I think they just didn't stick the landing on like his reasoning, his motive. And even if the motive sucks, they didn't sell it for me, right? Because there's a lot of characters out there whose motives suck, but they can be a great character overall. Infinite I'm waiting for that redemption arc, but based on what we've seen so far, they killed him off. They wanted to start fresh with Sonic Frontiers, bro. But hey, if everything's canon now, totally possible to bring him back in the future. Because that's what I think Sonic needs, more villains. As much as I love Eggman, I'd love to see more people on his side, like a larger team being built, which I think that they're going for now. I mean, I won't say any Frontier spoilers, but you know, I think we're getting there. Sure. Hey, sure, we've had some close calls, but we've come out of it fine in the end, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I'll be careful, I promise.
Okay, thanks, Sonic.
If you're so worried, you can always come with me.
Yeah, just like old times in...
Wah! Ah! I love to think that these characters are mourning over somebody that got crushed by this giant egg robot that they've destroyed, and it just fell on somebody and killed them in the worst possible way. The things that they don't address in Sonic games, man. Infinite is one of Sam's greatest enemies, and he even became the ruler of an entire world. Do you have like a story that you wrote over it, or is this just kind of like the biography of Sam in general? I never got into Sonic OCs. You would think, like, me being a big fan, I would have created my own, like, you know, Jesus the Hedgehog or some shit back in the day. But I never actually did it. I don't know. I didn't find much point in doing so. I just liked the games and stuff that came out and just kept track of it ever since, like, Sonic 2. That was my very first one. All right. So Tails decided to stay behind and help the people of this good town.
There's too many badnik gangs out there. You'll find them faster on your own. I'll stay here and help the locals rebuild their town.
You're a class act, buddy. We'll bash bots some other time.
Deal.
And so we leave Tails behind. And, oh, Sonic is being watched? What? Oh, can I do the robot voice?
So he survived the first trial.
Surprising. We'll do it this way. Deploy a battalion to the next nearest town. You'll be drawn to it, like a moth to a flame. Make sure word of Sonic's latest success reaches the Resistance. I want to crush both hedgehogs in one strike.
Can love hammer it out on the battlefield? Bro, these people were horny when they wrote these comics. All right, so that is issue number 1. And of course we have like the fan letters at the end of this. I wonder how they got fan letters prior. Some cosplay. And then a Skylanders comic at the end of this. Who gives a fuck about that? I don't know, man. Hey, Skylanders, I haven't seen that shit in a long time, man. I remember I was just out of that age group. Actually, no, I was in college when this came out. Not this comic, but the Skylanders toys and all that stuff. The only thing I got involved in with like those action figures, I mean, that thing would it just came and went, right? Skylanders was like the most popular thing. I don't know if you guys remember, but that thing was pretty damn, it was like a craze. Everybody had to get their hands on Skylanders toys for their video game, which I think was a great idea, but that's where amiibos came from. But I think that's kind of like falling out of style now. Even amiibos to a certain extent, they take too long to come out. Like you'll have like something like Smash Bros, like the final 2 characters of Smash Bros. I don't even know if there's a Sora amiibo out there if they plan on doing that, but I don't know. It was a cool idea, but it's just kind of hard to get your hands on some of these. All right, issue number 2. Glad how they make him great again. Yes, we'll get to that in a sec. Archie Eggman had a simp named Thunderbolt the Chinchilla. I think they replaced your boy in this. So I gotta go back to the beginning of this one. This is issue 1, right? Issue 2. So some of these I was checking how they would load up on my desktop. So bear with me as I like go back in some of these. All right, I'm in page 1. Yo, Amazon needs to fix their Kindle desktop app. You figured this shit would be easy to read on desktop? It's actually a lot more challenging than you would think. All right, Sonic the Hedgehog, issue number 2. This is written by Ian Flynn and I think his name is Brian Thomas. So just so you guys are aware, Ian Flynn does not write every single thing within the Sonic comic, but he is involved in a lot of planning. And I think he even has given up control of certain story arcs to like his proteges and things like that. So yeah, so while he is the mastermind behind a lot of these comics, come on, man. What is happening? Kindle. might have to reload this. The series introduced Starline, and he is such a good villain. I do like Starline. His design could be a little bit more sinister, but I think the whole point behind his entire design is to look kind of pathetic. So I don't have any issues with Starline, and I think we'll get into his arc. There we go. That's a little bit better. We'll get into his arc very soon. And yes, it's not my internet connection. It's definitely Amazon. They have like a hard time loading these, so it's kind of difficult. Next time, maybe I can like plug it into an iPad or something. I don't know. Okay, so this is written by Ian Flynn. The art is by Adam Bryce Thomas, who I think is one of my favorite artists for this IDW comic. His art style stands out. We're going to be seeing a few different artists within the next few issues, and you'll be able to tell there's a clear difference with art styles. Much like animation out there, like if you guys are heavy into anime, especially like One Piece, for instance, that has to put out an episode every week, you'll see different parts of it may seem like inconsistent, but it fits because they're trying to have certain scenes stand out over others. So if it's exposition, there's no need to go crazy on animation, but for the big important scenes, they're actually outsourcing it to different animators, so that they're able to put out more products a lot faster. So I think it's a similar thing here, right? I think they wanted to start off pretty strong, so they had different artists cover like the first few, and I think it's going to stabilize. The art style will stabilize a little bit over time, and this has some of my favorite artwork of Sonic and his friends within this. So shout out to Adam Bryce Thomas. I think one of the more talented ones in this group. Ethereal, what's going on? You've been here, right? This whole time? Maybe you stepped out and came back in. All right. Let me get the guided view going. All right, so here we have this giant enemy crab. When Adam is on the art, you know it's going to be a good issue. This is one of my favorite setup issues. And we'll see. It'll reintroduce Amy as a character. And honestly, I think this is one of the best versions of Amy out there. And you'll see why. Not a bad race, big guy, but there's no way I'm letting you trample that town. Giant enemy crab battle. All right, so Sonic's running up this thing. I love this Frontier style like combat here, where he runs up the side of the leg. It's kind of like Ashura. That's the name of the boss. All right, so as he promised, Sonic is going around smashing everybody. See, it literally says smash. So this is what he meant by smashing everybody out there. So, hey, look, this is the iconic scene between Sonic smashing a crab. Settle down, settle down, settle down. Okay. Bro, he's going to town on that. Look at this. All right. So we keep going. More battle scenes. Bro, so I'm not a furry, but this sheep right here. Nah, we're just gonna move. I'm gonna move on, bro. All right. Ta-da!
That was so cool.
Wait. I still have the robot voice on.
That was so cool. I thought we were goners. How do you move like that?
Thank you.
Sonic! Oh my god! He's so trendy!
Man, this ain't shit to me. Pow! Hey, look, it's Amy, bruv. She's coming in. Yes, sir. Yes, Amy. With the hit of the Pico Hammer. The Pico. Hiya! Alright, so I gotta do like let's do a proper...
You're getting sloppy, Sonic.
Wait, no, that's too high. You're getting sloppy, Sonic. Amy, fancy meeting you here. See, so we'll see a much better version of Amy in this comic right now. We'll talk about her unrequited love really quickly. I gotta address the Sonami fans and all that stuff, because that fandom has become very rampant over the years. So when I was growing up, I did see a lot of the same things, right? Like, nothing really changes with this fandom. So people who are younger and my age and were rooting for Sonic and Amy, you know, they would post AMVs showing the two together. I even did one back in the day, bruv. Hey, I did one because I thought it was the ship that made the most sense. But at the same time, I always knew that it would never be a thing because Sega is not going to tie down their mascot. It's just not going to happen, right? So what we see here is as close as it's going to get. And we've seen a change in dynamic from time to time. Like, Amy starts as this person who's a fanatic towards Sonic. Then she starts going on her own adventures. She gains the respect of Sonic. But in the past, we've seen a lot of like weird characterizations of Amy where she's like extremely obsessed. I'm talking, if you guys have played Sonic Battle, she is super obsessed. They find this robot called Emerald, and Sonic kind of like, he imprints on Sonic, basically, this robot, and sees Sonic as like his master, or his, you know, like to an extent his father, right? So Sonic's just like, okay, well, we're gonna teach you everything there is to know about the world and stuff like that. Just hang out with me and my friends and we're good. Once Amy catches wind of this, she wants to mother this child of Sonic's together, and she takes the role of mom so fucking seriously that it's like such a character assassination to the point where she's like insane, and like I can go on about this for hours. I think that was like when the insanity hit its peak, bro. She turned like full yandere in in Sonic Battle, so it was just ridiculous. So finally they've toned down the character a little bit, and she's a leader now, right? When Sonic wasn't around, she stepped up with Knuckles to lead the resistance. So this is actually, you know, branching off of that version of her character and forces. So this is definitely a good recap of all that. And not only does she still have like some feelings for Sonic, she's toned it down for other things. And Sonic, I think, has some hidden feelings toward her, which I think what they're, you know, hinting at from time to time, but the focus is not on that whatsoever. And I don't think they're ever going to be a official couple. I think it's just going to be this dynamic until the end of time, you know. And you can keep the, like, come on, imagine if they were just like, all right, well, Sonic and Amy are a thing now. Like, all these people would be vindicated, and you have no reason to get them to buy your games in the future now that they're together. I'm just kidding, but this, I don't know if they're gonna tie him down at this point. They did it with Sally back in the day, but that's because it was a Western studio that had free reign over, you know, Sonic and things like that. So it was a different story there. But game wise, I don't think they're gonna do that. They'll just hint at it. They'll continue to hint at it, but I don't think it'll ever be a thing. Okay. So she pulls up. This is actually very cute artwork here. I like this.
I heard about what you and Tails did in the neighboring town and hurried over. I just knew you'd stop by here.
Huh. Word travels fast. Hey, yo, come on. We can like stretch this. Bring the skirt down, bro. Bring it down a little bit. Never mind. Looks like things are under control here. Thanks for the save. Laters.
Sonic, wait! I came out here specifically to find you.
See, that's what you gotta do. You gotta call them out in their bullshit. You gotta call them out. See, she's telling them what's good now, for real. She's being real with them now. I know, it's kind of your thing.
Not like that. I mean, I'm always happy to see you and would follow you anywhere if you'd only let me, but you get me so flustered.
So I think this is the last time we actually see Amy crushing on Sonic like this, because it was kind of hinted at in Frontiers, but it was actually like a lot more mature look at the character. I actually think this is pretty nice. Like, I like this dynamic. I like Sonic's confident teasing, and I like her being real about her feelings. It's an interesting dynamic.
Sonic, I need you to come back to the Resistance.
Come back? I thought you were all doing cleanup now that the war is over. Now that the pandemic's over. Anytime I hear now that the blank is over, I hear now that the pandemic's over in my head, bro. The amount of times people have said that. By the way, make sure you guys are super careful out there over the next few months. COVID is like super rampant right now. It's not hitting the news like it did last year for sure, but you know, it's everywhere. So just be very careful. And yeah, do what you got to do to protect yourself.
That was the plan, but we didn't account for just how large the Eggman Empire's army was. The leftover robots are everywhere. Even without Eggman to lead them, they're a constant threat, randomly attacking anyone they find. The Resistance is working to finish the fight. By working from a centralized, organized position, we can be way more effective. So this is indeed what I like, right? Because in Sonic Forces, I believe the commander is Knuckles. And so we find out at the beginning of this particular comic, Knuckles will relinquish his role over to Amy. So Amy is now the leader of the Resistance. But, you know, now that there's no war to fight, she's kind of helping with like the restoration of the damage done across the world. So that's why we're seeing her, you know, talk about certain tactics and what's happening with their fight against like the remaining Eggman robots and things like that. Weird, the Resistance was disbanded and then it's not, but only doing cleanup work. Also, most of their party and resources from the war are gone. So yeah, essentially, I think that's a very cool dynamic that they kept up the Resistance, even though it's more or less disbanded. It does make sense to have those characters helping out with the cleanup effort, which is why I can't, you know, I can't say anything too negative about that decision. It does put Amy in a leadership role, and it also gives these characters a reason to be around each other a little bit more. So I think in a writing sense, it makes a lot of sense for them to do that. Sonic, on the other hand, is not really a part of it whatsoever. I don't think he ever really was. So I think that's in character with him too. Doesn't want to be tied down to a particular group. So as part of this restoration, as part of this restoration, he is like a free agent essentially. So helping wherever he can. And he's just running around and helping out towns and defeating robots, which on one part, he's stomping Eggman robots, which is what he likes to do. But on the other, he's still free to do as he pleases. So I think that characterization fits very well. I would never ship Amy with Samuel. She's too fangirl screechy. I mean, she stopped doing that, so I don't know. It's up to you. Nah, pass. Oh, for the love of... Why? Tails pointed out something that's been bugging me. The last group of badniks we faced was way more organized, but Eggman hasn't showed up to claim responsibility. Subtlety is not his forte, which is true. And now you just happen to hear about where I am right in time for another super badnik to attack where we're both likely to be. Yikes, I hadn't thought of that. Taking a sip. Then it's all the more reason for you to come back to the Resistance. No, it's all the more reason for me to hit the road and find out what's going on. You could spend weeks, wrong person. You can spend weeks or months bouncing around settlements looking for clues. Saving more folks from badniks attacks, it's a win-win for everyone. And he does have a point, so we have to remember that Sonic can run extremely fast. So if he's got to check like 100 villages at once, he can do that and stop. He can save people and kind of get information at the same time. So he's like the best reconnaissance person out there if he like puts his mind to it. But, you know, that's just my opinion on that. Here's that sheep again. Oh my God. All right, let me stop. Stop. No, that's not, you know, I'm not into those things. All right.
Sonic! Miss Rose, emergency, we're under attack.
It's cool. We took out the super badnik.
No, I mean an army invading from the west. Bah!
The Crabbot was a decoy.
We've got to stop the invasion before the city is overrun.
I like big hair, but not like, you know, furry hair. You can have Sonic settle down, but that won't stop him from battling baddies. Which is my point, like Dragon, like it's not gonna serve much to help the character in any way. Him or Amy in this instance, because I guess Sonic Frontiers spoiler real quick. Sonic Frontiers spoiler, alert, Sonic Frontiers spoiler. I mean, this is not that big of a deal, but at the very end of the game, when everything's said and done, I'm not gonna say what happens, but the dynamic amongst the friendships, I actually really love the ending between
them as friends, because they all come together and just like, wow, that was another adventure. That was pretty fun. Let's do it again. And everybody's kind of like reflecting on how they've grown over the years and what the things that they need to do in life. And I honestly think, here's a theory, because I'm normally right about this. I was right. Whenever I just ramble about these things, I end up being right for the most part. But at the end of Frontiers, you know, we have Tails, Amy, and Knuckles saying that they're all going to go. Maybe it's time for them to go their separate ways and to kind of do the things that they want to do and not be tied down to Sonic so much. And not in a malicious way. It's just, that's why I really like that ending, because it shows a lot of character growth. It shows how close, like it really feels like they've been friends for 30 plus years in that game. It just feels like a huge maturing of all the characters, right? So at the end, they all say like the things that they need to do in life and what they want to do and their goals moving forward. And I think that they all kind of go their separate ways for a while. Now, will they be featured in the next few games? Maybe out of necessity, just because like it's weird to have a Sonic game without Tails, for instance, in the background. But I think that what they're trying to do with that ending is kind of set the stage for other characters to serve that supporting role in the following game. So in Frontiers, we don't have Shadow, we don't have Rouge, we don't have Omega, we don't have Blaze or Silver or any of those characters. I think by kind of letting those three go their separate ways. So Knuckles is going to be doing his own thing. Amy wants to do her own thing and help people. And Tails wants to still grow as a person, and he's going to go on a journey to go find himself. I think that we're going to see focus on other characters like Sonic, Rouge, Omega, people like that. Did I say Sonic? I meant Shadow. Shadow, Rouge, and Omega, Silver, whoever. Blaze for like it could be anybody. The world's their oyster, and they could write it that way. So honestly, I think that's what Ian Flynn was going for when he wrote that ending the way that he did. So we will see. But honestly, I love those versions of those characters. Very like, I don't know. It just feels like they've been at this for a very long time, and I got that vibe from them, like a very mature vibe overall. So shout out to the writing in that game. There's some critiques I have for it. Some parts were rushed, but I actually like how it ended. It felt very real in my opinion. Okay. I'll run ahead and thin them out. Do you have any kind of defenses?
We turned Town Hall into a bunker of sorts during the war. Take me there.
What are these? These friggin' chicken? What are these chicken heads?
Get all the unarmed inside. If you can fight, rally to me.
All right, so now we're gonna have a huge action scene.
Get to the upper floors. Don't fire until the badniks have entered the square.
I love how that thing's like, Bagok. I love also like there's a wolf here. This actually looks like Buddy, or it's similar. He doesn't have the hipster glasses, but this does look like the default avatar from Sonic Forces. So a nice little callback there. My face is in the way. Let me move myself. I feel like there's no part of this where I can't. There you go. So it kind of looks like him. All right, next. All right, wham bam kapam. Whoops.
Not everyone is accounted for. Pair up. Go door to door and bring back no more than 10 at a time. Keep low and check your corners.
Blam, blam, blam. Sonic's here tearing up everything.
Incoming, get ready.
I love seeing like Sonic characters at war. It's crazy. They're actually like yelling out like the Art of War, Sun Tzu tactics out here. We gotta thin our enemies. Let's use the art of deception. Dang it. I let too many get past me.
Now.
So a lot of frames that we'll see. Okay, so they're just lighting it up from the rooftop. This is actually a pretty gangster panel right here. This freaking sheep is up there firing the fuck out of them guns. That's cool. I like that. All right, pow, pow, pow. Everybody's getting shot up.
The first wave is down.
I thought Knuckles was the commander of the resistance. I actually spoiled this a little bit earlier.
Oh, he commanded all right.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, who do you think kept things organized?
Mwah. Nice. So what's the plan?
This is a good defensible position, and the militia is placed well, but
Too many badniks?
too many badniks. We'd be overrun. We need to find where they're coming from and thin their advances so the villagers can stand a chance.
Shall we?
Let's.
So I actually think that this portion is pretty charming. It shows how Amy and Sonic can work together. And this is very well drawn, in my opinion. The next few panels that we'll see. So like the general speed here is pretty dope. So he's carrying Amy. She has the hammer ready. You guys know that shit can do some damage. He throws her up into the sky. She does this whip around. So she's twirling up there and comes down and pretty much hits like a ton of them. And then he catches her for the landing. I think that's a dope little combo attack. That's something that we haven't seen things similar to that since probably Sonic Heroes, right? Where there was like these little team up attacks amongst the heroes, but and then to an extent Sonic Advance 3, but it's not as intricate as this. So hey, one step at a time. But hey, if we get combat like as good as Sonic Frontiers, I think that, you know, seeing like pair up attacks like this in the future is not something crazy. So this is definitely a good rubric for that if necessary.
Wee, isn't this fun?
Oh yeah. Pico. I love the sound effect is always Pico. Pico. Yo, look at the chaos here. Oh man, all right. And she lands with grace.
You know, you could do this sort of thing all the time with the resistance.
And he's like, hell no, I'm not trying to be a part of no resistance. This is like when people try to recruit you for like them clubs in high school or college, and you're just kind of like, I like you and all, but nah, I'm not staying after school for all of that shit. Nope. Nope.
Oh, come on.
I already told you what I'm gonna do, and that's go out and be my own dude, son.
You didn't even consider coming back.
I don't need to. I already know what works best for me.
Well, what about what works best for the rest of us?
I'm no good at figuring that stuff out. You are, so you do your thing, and I'll do mine. Behind you.
If you won't do it for the resistance, do it for me.
I can't play favorites. Yo, I love that. Hey, where's Future at? Sensational, bro. Sensational. Oh man, I'm very proud. Hey, I actually have something to say about this conversation. Then do it for your friends. Egg pond's closing in 30 feet. This is what I admire about a character like Sonic, and we see other like shonen type of characters run this way too, which I think it's a very good way of conducting your life. I think it's very easy for people to characterize this as a selfish trait, and I highly disagree with that. I think people should do the things that they want to do, and they don't always have to take you into consideration. That's not a selfish thing. People do have to look out for themselves, and I think a lot of times people eat away at trying to do what's best for others, and they don't think about themselves and what's best for them and what they like to do. This is a very admirable trait of Sonic. And I wouldn't say this is out of character at all, because he's not tied. I don't think he's ever been tied down to any type of group per se, like much like the Avengers or all those other superhero things that you see in comics. I think the closest he's gotten to teaming up was within like Sonic Heroes or whatever. We're Sonic Heroes, but that's the last time. I mean, unless it's for like a sports event or something like that. Team Sonic isn't really like an official group of sorts. So I can see why he's stepping away for this idea. But much for real life, this is not a bad trait to have. Always know what it is that you want to do and go for that thing. If you're not interested in joining whatever group or being a part of like some friends, you know, book club, or even like subscribing to their YouTube channel or whatever, subscribe. You don't have to do all of that. And I think that's something that's like been ingrained in people growing up. Like, you have to do this. No, you don't. And you're not selfish for not wanting to do that. I don't think anybody should be in any position to do things that they don't want to do. You know what I mean? So I'm seeing that sentiment being shared a little bit more now on social media, which is a good thing. That's a healthy thing. But there's also, you know, being too full of yourself. But in this case, I think it's pretty harmless with Sonic. And he's helping people along the way. So it's not even like he's, saying no and, turning his back on everybody, because he's always there to support them. Unpopular opinion. I've never been opposed to Nux being a bit stupid, but I just hate it when it's done over the top. Yeah, and Sonic Boy, I think they fixed that a little bit, especially in Frontiers. That's kind of been walked back a little bit. So I don't mind him being somewhat gullible, but falling for the same trick 100 times. And the Sonic Boom version of him, yeah, that's a yikes. So I think that they're finally walking away from that. They're listening to the fans. I don't think they're going to be writing him as a stupid person from now on. We'll see what the Sonic movie has in store, because he is very prideful, but he's just very naive in that movie. So we'll see what happens with that version of the character going forward. But they seem to take criticism very well too. So I think it's in good hands there. Okay. The heart backgrounds there betray Amy's insistence as more crush driven than anything else. I would agree with that too, by the way. I think it's like, if you won't do it for the resistance, do it for me. Clearly she just wants Sonic around her. And that's like, just exposing like a little bit of a character flaw here. So I'm not like throwing this all on Amy, and I'm not saying that Sonic is selfish by saying no. This is clearly just meant to be like some fluff on top of Amy. Like, she does want the help, but more so she wants Sonic around, and she's trying to give him reasons as to, it's like just something that will coax him back. Like, he can fight Eggman alongside them. Like, it's not going to change anything. So he should come back. And that's kind of like what this is doing. So it's definitely driven from her end. This is not something, in fact, she's probably more selfish for asking this question, because she's not really asking for the best of the resistance or anything like that. She just wants to be around, Sonic a little bit more, which, hey, there's nothing wrong with that either. It's fine. All right. They've got you, remember?
Do it for a chili dog?
Oh, now you're talking.
Seriously?
So see, she's throwing out like the last defense, the last thing that she could possibly like throw at him to get him to join, which is a chili dog. Ironically, I just had I just put out a video on chili dogs recently. I didn't talk about the IDW comics, so this is an interesting insight. But hey, I don't talk about IDW a lot because it's pretty much in the same canon as the games. So there's not much change there, but this is actually a pretty nice panel here. All right, we're still on issue 2. I need to keep it moving. All right, so he runs off. He starts beating up more egg pods. These poor freaking egg pods, man. They're just programmed to do these things. Some of these, I don't know if you guys noticed, but these egg pods are hilarious. Sometimes they'll like be wearing mustaches and costumes and holding up signs and doing a bunch of ridiculous shit for Eggman. They're pretty charming. Like I've come to see them as pretty damn charming over time, because they've gotten so ridiculous, and they're not meant to be dangerous in any way, so like Sonic always just drills through them. But they're funny regardless. Yo, enemy dropship just outside the village. Looks like it still has plenty aboard.
That's not good. There's no way we can get through that crowd.
Conventionally? No. I think it's time for a croquette bomber. I love that they have like a name for their attack, which there's no like hint that they've ever worked together like that before, but this could be a reference to like something they did in Sonic Advance 3.
From a distance, you are a daredevil.
Hey, look at this intense ass flirting right here. This is nice. Honestly, I like it this way more so than anything else. I don't like the Amy chasing after Sonic anymore. It had its place back in the day, but I think this is a nice little dynamic, like very subtle flirting, but them not going too far, because it's, it's a Sonic game. All right, so he gets into position. It's about to do the croquette thing. Ram. Croquet, if you pronounce it that way, if you're French. So what this artist, Adam Bryce Thomas, has like a very talented way of drawing expressions, which is why I enjoy his art style the best. Like, you really can see the emotion in every panel. Like, this is Sonic gloating and flexing, but also kind of like, in like in a flirtatious way, like, hey, let's do that thing. And she's like, hell yeah. Like I don't know, the emotions in each panel that this guy draws are I don't know. He's one of my favorite artists for this series, in my opinion, after reading this. Are you okay? You knocked me right onto the power cell. What a shot.
That's it for the invasion. I guess you'll be going then.
Yep. Hey, yo, Sonic doesn't take any prisoners in the game, bro. Set her down nicely, bruv. It's what I do. Just keep moving. Doing good. Saving folks. And living as free as the wind. Living by my own way. My own way. Wait, living by my way. My own way. Isn't this like a... I think this is a reference to It Doesn't Matter, the Sonic Adventure theme for Sonic. I really like this panel, but at the same time, if any guy did this to anybody else, it would be super cringe. So I don't know. This is definitely a cool panel. It fits. Did Sonic ever get that chili dog? We'll find out, actually. This is my first reread since this released, so it's interesting just going through these issues again. I think this is the only time we see Sonic use the boosted media outside the games. Yeah, they're very... there's a lot of reference to all of his attacks in previous media within the Sonic IDW comics, so that's pretty damn cool. Retro Matt, welcome, bruv. It's good to see you, man. How's everything been? How's the new year been? What are the New Year's plans? What are the resolutions for the rest of you guys too? What do we all have planned this year? I didn't even discuss any of that. As I read, you guys can let me know, but I do have like a little keyboard here next to me if you guys noticed. I don't know if anybody's mentioned this in the chat, but I'm trying to get back into to my piano playing. I played like as a very young at a very young age, and I put it down for other things because like I felt like practicing was a lot of pressure for me. So as I got older, like I was still interested in it, but I think now like I'm finally gonna take some time and try to relearn everything and try to learn some songs and stuff like that. I know it's harder to pick things like this back up at like an older age, but seeing I have some background in it, I'm hoping it's not too difficult. So that's kind of what I'm doing. You're cutting out fast food completely, Otis. That's a good deal. It's actually not that hard. Like unless you're on a budget, I think that's the hard part. Like it's always easy to get fast food because being on a budget, you got to eat, you know, but outside of that, like once you stop eating it, you don't crave it as much, or like when you're driving by, you don't really care for it as much. I used to be big on like freaking Burger King. Like I used to have it in high school. Like I used to get the chicken tender crisp, whatever the fuck they call it now, but I used to get that chicken sandwich every time I left school, or I would want to every time I left school. And you're just like, it's ingrained in your brain that it's just something quick. But like as I got older, man, I never wanted to look at a Burger King ever again. I remember I ate chicken fries one time, like late at like 3-4 in the morning, and I was throwing up. And I'm not a vomiter whatsoever, but chicken fries had me throwing up one day, and I'm like, yo, this is clearly my body's telling me something. I should not be eating this shit. So so from then on, like I started avoiding like the fast food restaurants unless like it was super necessary. And like driving by, like they don't appeal to me as much anymore, you know. But yeah, like, you know, if times are rough and you're on a budget, it's probably the easiest thing to get. But I think there are things in a supermarket you can pick up and replace with it. I don't know. So good luck with that. Good luck to everybody that's trying to do a little bit better with their eating habits this year. We have one life to live, so, you know, live it efficiently. You know a guy that made his own tabletop RPG that plays the keyboard? Are you kidding me? How does that even work? That sounds pretty damn cool. I just can't figure out how to make the Baja sauce. Oh, you would miss... Yeah, Taco Bell, man. Yo, 4 a.m. Taco Bell stuff is unmatched. I don't care what anybody says. 4 a.m. after a rough night at the casino. That's like a metaphor for just a rough, drunken, hungover night or whatever. I don't know what you call it. Or even a long night. Even if you don't drink and you're out till 4 in the morning. Bro, ain't nothing good happening at 4 in the morning. And so you pull up to Taco Bell and you get like a gordita or a freaking chalupa or even like a pack of soft tacos. That shit slaps in no other way. Like that whole fourth meal thing, that changed Taco Bell forever, bro. Taco Bell was a weakness for me for a while. I used to live right next to one. So like I'm coming home at like 3 in the morning after like doing some ridiculous stuff in them streets. And I would just I would order like 2 combos. And bro, did you see like people eating, bro, like after a long night, or even like if you see drunk people eating, it's like an experience, bro. They're like chomping. You got to see the face. The face when drunk people are eating is crazy. It's like, I wish I had something to chew on in front of me, but it's like the look in their eyes is something I can't replicate. It's just like everything goes into. Anyway, I'm you know, 4 a.m. Taco Bell, unmatched. All right, back to the comic. I go out and finish this issue at least. I should talk about my 4 a.m. Taco Bell stories. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's trying to eat a little bit better this year. Avoid that Popeyes. Sometimes people look at chicken and they're like, it doesn't matter, it's healthy. No, there's unhealthy ways of cooking chicken, so be very careful. You know, hey, feel free to treat yourself from time to time, but there are a lot of things out there that are gonna kill you. If you're American, heart disease is like the thing that might take you out, or cancer, and food causes both of those things, so be careful. Just saying. Taco Bell Origins video, yo, I'm down for that. Ahem. I look like Sonic in that thumbnail for a sec, bro. That is like one of the greatest frames I've ever found in a Sonic cartoon ever. The moment I saw that pose, I'm like, yo, this is the one that goes up. I questioned whether I wanted to put it up. I thought YouTube was gonna say something, but they didn't. It's pulling up to 100,000 views, so hey, that must have appealed to some people out there. I don't know. All right, so Amy clearly has a crush over Sonic's ideals here. So can we give it like a quick... I love that sound effect so much. So yeah, so Sai, she has to knock herself out of it because she almost fell back into her toxic ways from back in the day. Amy,
You're right.
I am.
It's just who you are, and it's all the reasons I love you. I can't change you. I don't want to change you.
See, if she wasn't smiling here, this would come across as passive aggressive to me. You ever hear someone say things like this to you to like guilt trip you? Like, you're just the way you are, and I can't change you. Yeah, this is just a funny panel, but I'm glad she's smiling here because she's actually like genuine about it. Well, it's not like it's all or nothing. You could come with me. Oh my God, what? Yeah. Yes, Sonic threw a little curveball at her there. I'm surprised she didn't take this invitation, but if they wrote it that way, then Sonic Amy fans would be like going wild. So I see why they didn't go that way. It's not like it's all or nothing. You could come with me. So it's not all or nothing for Sonic. He just kind of wants to be in the in that gray area with her. Her response:
I can't. The resistance needs me to keep everything in order. I've been away too long as it is.
I'm surprised that was her response, though, in my opinion. You could critique that is a little out of character considering she's trying everything to get him to go back to the resistance. But at the same time, you could say that that's her, Amy's heroic aspect. She wants to do what's best for the people and put her needs and wants aside. So it's not too much of a big deal. Pull the clip of Peter Parker eating. Which Peter Parker? We talking Toby? Oh, he's eating a hot dog? What? Oh, that one. Yes, this is the drunk. This is definitely the drunk one. This is the drunk eat right here. Can you imagine how many times I've been this Miles? Like, I've been this guy before. Like, hey, we need to get you something to eat, bruh, because you're not looking so good. And this is me on the other side of the table like, Jesus, why did I go out with this person? Little fact about me, I don't like being around people. I don't like eating around people. I don't like people eating around me. It's just one of those things. What happened? Load it. Oh, wow. Why did it go all the way back to that panel? All right, so now that we're at I think we're at the end of this issue. Okay.
outfit, but if you don't mind some direction, Knuckles went to investigate a town to the south. I haven't heard from him, so he might need your help.
Aye, aye, Captain Commander Rose, ma'am.
Don't make me slap you.
I think this is a cute panel, by the way. And this, honestly, is like the most natural, realistic dialogue I've seen between these two characters. If you guys have seen this type of dynamic between anybody, like lightly flirtatious, but not really committing to much, this feels very realistic in a sense. So I like this panel a lot, and I like this interaction. This is something that we don't see a lot of in game actually before Frontiers. So this was a breath of fresh air for me. All right, next.
Another failure. I did not account for how much Amy Rose has grown. And now, Sonic is deviating from my projected path. How frustrating.
On the bright side, boss, here's what he's charging headlong towards.
Perhaps they will finish him for me.
Next time, knock knock, it's Knuckles, baby. Let's do it. This app is pretty cool, but I can't imagine not buying physical copies. Yeah, it's just kind of hard to get your hands on a lot of these. I mean, unless you live next to a comic store or somebody that has this. I actually went to Barnes and Noble. The S is people tend to add that from time to time. I gotta be correct about it, politically correct. Barnes and Noble. I went there and they had like the whole first volume of this comic. So it's like all 12 issues that I'm about to read today in one large book, which I think was pretty cool because it's more of a book format. Now, the only downside to reading it that way is that there's a freaking crease on some of the, and I know a lot of manga readers go through this, especially One Piece readers. If you buy the physical books, it's creasing a lot of the full page stuff. So like a lot of the art, sadly, like tucked into the spine of the book itself. So, but yeah, physical artwork, I like this a lot more in person as well. They also have like variant covers, which you won't see here, but they tend to publish on their site or whatever. So there's a lot of really cool artwork done by different artists, and they will have those variants. So I think some of them are a little bit rarer than, you know, the standard issue that you would see there. I need to go back. Whoops. Yeah, your boy was making sure everything worked earlier. So whoever drew this one, I'm not a huge fan of their art style, but I think, let me see, Flynn Hernandez. Which Hernandez are they talking about? Jennifer Hernandez. Okay, she actually helps with the animated stuff that you see on their YouTube channel. So like Sonic Mania Adventures and Sonic R Overdrive, or not Sonic R Overdrive, what was the name of it? Sonic Team Racing Overdrive, that's the one. I think she helps out with those and the artwork for those. So I don't know how often she draws for the comics, but I didn't like this one as much. This actually looks better animated. Her art style looks better animated than it does on a particular comic book page, but we'll get into that. And this whole first arc is still written by Ian Flynn. I think once they change writers, we'll know. It is tinkering time, I believe so. Otis, you say you live near a few comic shops. You're always in the local shops. I love that vibe, man. I love the comic book shops with like all the figurines and things and people playing cards and all that stuff. I miss that vibe. It's been a while since I've like gotten into it, because I had a few close friends that were into that stuff, but we never had a lot of time to go visit that, you know. And I'm socially spoiled, if that means anything. Like I have to have like a certain vibe around me to really enjoy that type of vibe. But I gotta, like, that's on me though. I gotta be a little bit open-minded to those environments and trying to meet new people there, because it's not always gonna be ideal where your friends go to certain things that you want to do. So that's another like set of advice I'll give to people growing up out there. If there's something that you ever want to do, don't wait for your friends to do it with you. Chances are you'll never get that opportunity again. So you may as well just do that thing. If you want to see that movie, go see it. If you want to go to that restaurant to eat, go do it. It's not weird. It's only as weird as you make it to be. And anyone who judges you for that is an asshole. So there you go. There you are. Can you flex your comics in the Discord? Of course, Otis, go ahead, bro. That's what Discord's for. By the way, like, hey, if you guys feel shy about speaking in the Discord, don't worry. I'm not gonna like ban you for anything. Like, you can even promote your own stuff within the Discord. That's what it's for. It's not there to talk strictly about me or anything or what I'm doing. Of course, like, I have admin rights and I'll promote my own stuff because it's my Discord. But if you guys have art that you want to share, stories that you want to share, original characters, even if it's games from other things, like, because I have a lot of interest in other things like, you know, Mario, Final Fantasy, Persona, all that stuff. We don't have to just talk about Sonic. It's the Church of Mentok, not the Church of Sonic. So feel free to do that. That's how we build a community. You know what I'm saying? Once we get them like interested, like, I know we're like-minded Sonic fans, but overall, I'm sure there are other things that we can discuss too. So don't feel any way about that. I love all of the art that you guys have posted. It's great stuff in there. Ryan, welcome. You forgot about the stream? Yeah, hey. I just scheduled this morning, so no big deal. Normally I schedule these things 24 hours in advance, but I tried to do something at a little bit more short notice. Kenny, welcome. I just saw your message. Archie is the only one I've read. You're a total plebeian. This is kind of why I'm doing this read through in the first place, because I know a lot of people probably didn't jump into the IDW stuff after Archie got discontinued. Even though Archie is like super surreal. I don't know. Every time I read anything on Archie, I'm like, man, you had to be there. Like, I think that was the thing, like, you had to be there, man, because I don't know. When I read some of that stuff, I'm like, this is just so 90s. And I love Ken Pender's like mistakes and weird plot lines that he tried to introduce, and like all the freaking girl drama that Sonic gets into during the whole thing. Bro, it's such a it's so interesting to read, man. I don't know. Yeah, same. It was only Archie. Archie is so interesting. Maybe we'll do a like read through once I'm done with this. If you guys enjoy it enough, maybe I'll do a read through of the Archie comics like once and for all. They're just super intimidating to read for me. Oh shoot, for once I'm too late. And you guys see this dramatic difference in art style since the last issue, but this is Jennifer Hernandez's look. Looks like Knuckles hogged all the fun. Hey, it's Knuckles ripping the insides out of a freaking robot. That's dope. Hello, Spaz101. Welcome to the stream. You love Archie? Maybe I should read Archie on stream one of these days. We'll start from the very beginning, from issue 1, where we get Sonic's chili dog recipe. How about that? There's so much going on in that freaking series. It's crazy. Yo, Nux, save anything for me? Sonic, long time no see. Oh, hey, it's the long time no see joke. I love it. What brings you out here? I ran into Amy in the next town over. She said she was looking into trouble here. I thought I'd lend a hand. So this dynamic we'll see carry over into Sonic Frontiers, and that's not a coincidence because Ian Flynn's writing the characters here. So a lot of this characterization you'll see in Frontiers as well. This whole vibe is something that you could argue has been in place between Sonic and Knuckles since like post Sonic 3, but I think right now he's trying to like make them have this friendly rivalry, and so they're like super friendly with each other, but at the same time everything's a competition, which I don't mind. I don't mind that dynamic between them either. Cyber, welcome. You're fine. You're not late. Do Archie? Yeah, I know. It's coming. My reckoning is coming. Oh wait, I forgot to do the applause for when Knuckles appeared. All right, we got Knuckles. Knuckles is in. You know, you're awfully far away from the HQ, Commander Knuckles. Ugh, don't remind me. It was more interesting when we were fighting to save the world. Now that we're focusing on rebuilding, it's all scheduling and inventory and I've got no patience for it. I'm ready to get back to Angel Island and go on a good old-fashioned treasure hunt. I hear ya. Amy tried to get me to enlist full time. You? She should have known better. Is this Fallout? Does this look like Fallout? So yeah, I will say that I like this interaction as well. it states clear goals that Knuckles has. So he stepped away from Angel Island, even though he's the guardian of the Master Emerald, to do what was necessary for the good of the world when Eggman took over, and he had to step up and be commander. So him expressing interest in going back to Angel Island kind of goes back to a lot of critiques at that time as to why is Knuckles not protecting the Master Emerald? We haven't seen that in a long time, which is true. So we have to go back, like our mindset has to go back to 2018. And that's kind of what they're trying to do. So they have Knuckles in here helping out, cleaning up the world. But at the same time, he's expressing the idea of going back to Angel Island and actually doing his job. So that works on both sides. The comic name though, this is Sonic IDW, like the first the original series, because I know there's a lot of derivatives like Scrapnik Island and things like that. This is just a regular one. So what's going on here? This town is a hub for Wispin distribution. The shipment suddenly dried up, so I came to see why. Hey, I'm the commander of the Resistance, formerly. I took out all of Eggman's robots. Let me in. Sorry. Wait. We gotta do this. Sorry, sir, but I'm under orders to... Wait, should I give the Morty voice? Sorry, sir, but... like, I'm under orders not to open the gates to anyone. Says who? I can't say. All right, this is some bull. I love this look. What is this fuckery that this guy is talking? I'm probably gonna do weekly streams at some point. Are you doing this every Friday? I can use the raid feature when I'm done. Why not, right? I can do this every Friday. Well, this will be a short series, so because the Sonic comics not very long actually. They have like huge monthly stuff. So yeah, why not? I can make this a weekly Friday thing. Like my videos are getting more popular now. If you guys have noticed, I had a huge influx of subscribers. What I'm want to do this year is focus on getting the streams to be a little bit more, I guess, popular in a sense, or just have more attendance with the subscribers that I have. I know like a lot of YouTube people aren't into streams, but you know, if it's a chill vibe like this where I'm reading stuff or like hanging out with some of my subscribers, I want to do that. So I'm going to be focusing on that, and ideally trying to focus on one of my social media outlets to kind of have like an outlet on the exterior side. So my Twitter is doing okay. It's a lot better than when I started, for that's for sure. But if you guys are on Twitter, you know, feel free to follow me. I have the link in the description. That's where I'll post most of my thoughts or what I'm working on, or new projects and things like that. It's a good way to just kind of get involved in the community. And I feel I see people who have like similar amounts of subscribers as I do, but their Twitter fan base is like much bigger. So I want to see if I can build a community out there as well. You know, not to compare myself to others, but I think it's time to kind of spread the word a little bit. So that's what I'll be working on this year. A couple of my goals for this one. 7K more subs than I last looked. Yeah, it wasn't very long ago that I got 20,000. So my next goal is, of course, like my big goal right now is 100K. But you know, 30,000 is right around the corner. So we'll start with short-term goals. Kenny, you're doing YouTube full time as of 2 weeks from now. Well, hey, best of luck. That's a big step overall. Like I've thought about what it takes to take that kind of step, because there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to YouTube, and you never know when YouTube will change the rules and screw you over, especially if you're reviewing things that are easily copywritten and you know the deal. I don't have to explain it to you, but that is a big step. So I'm rooting for you there. If you guys don't follow Kenny, go ahead and check him out. Our content doesn't overlap per se, but he does have like quite the niche with reviewing older anime and things of that nature, and kind of doing a deep dive into it. And he's also the king of VHS restoration, as far as I know. he's the only one I know personally. So he's doing a lot of that stuff. So if you're into old VHS content and things like that, he's stockpiling them right now. I'm seeing your Twitter, man. So I think that's the first step in you know, building that building material that you can talk about and stuff like that. So that's dope. I mean, I can do some Sonic stuff if you want. I'll have the time now. Hey, go ahead and do it. And if you need my help with any of it, let me know. You know, I'm always open to talking about Sonic. This is a tough fan base though, man. But I imagine like you have some skeptics on your side too, but this is a tough fan base. If you fail to mention one single small detail, they'll come for you in the comments, bro. And I appreciate that. It's not like I have any hard feelings toward the comment section, but some of y'all nitpick like to crazy amounts. Crazy amounts. But I want to always make sure that I'm accurate and kept in check. So you know, I like comments like that. It's better than anything like super destructive. Some YouTube comment sections, like their focus is to be as snarky as possible. And I think that's the goal in a lot of YouTube video comment sections. But you know, at the end of the day, you've read one, you've read them all at this point. So all right, Sonic and Knucks teaming up here. Yes, it is indeed that Kenny Lauderdale from the Golden Bat video. He's been following me for a very long time. He will pop up in my streams from time to time, so he's already got quite the fan base. But hey, if I can give him a few more, you know, go ahead and check your boy out. Especially if he's doing it full time. I want to show him as much support as possible. All right. The Badnik attacks have been getting more aggressive lately. Maybe that's what got them spooked. I don't think so. Something else is going on. I'm gonna try and get through this one a little bit faster. When Shadow comes in, play I Am All of Me. I'll do so. Fine, that works. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't be here. Why? Whatever's wrong, we can fix it. This is an interesting shot. I think they just got lazy with this. I think that this panel wasn't so important to them. They're just like, you know what? Let's just color them black and white. I think this is definitely to save time. And you don't have to worry about shadows or anything like that. No, you can't. They took all the wisps and wispins. Without those wispins or a way to power them, we don't stand a chance. And they're unstoppable now, and they're going to kill us all, Sonic. And we've seen you do things before, but they're going to kill us. They who? Listen, buddy, you just watched my friend here solo as Super Badnik. We can handle ourselves. Start from the beginning. What's up? True enough, okay. Just before the war ended, a couple of mercenaries showed up, and they were ferocious. They drove back Eggman's forces and saved the town. They said they were going to improve our defenses. And this is where we meet Tough and Rumble. Sorry, I'm keeping an eye on chat at the same time. It's hard to like read, like go from reading one thing to reading the next. All right. But what they really did was take our arsenal and took us prisoner with our own town. Now we have to do everything they say. We have no way to fight back, and we can escape with all the robots stalking outside the wall. We can't escape. Well then, I think we need to take our complaint straight to management, eh, Nux? Hey. Absolutely. All right, where can we find these clowns? They've turned the supply depot into a fortress. Just down this road on the right, you can't miss it. Cool, sit tight, we've got this. Hey, we're Sonic Heroes. We're Sonic Hero. Oh, wait. I wanna play. All right, maybe I should like start setting up certain songs for certain things. Why does Kindle reload the page when I leave it? That's kind of crazy. All right, here's a little track for them. As Sonic and Knuckles infiltrate the supply depot. Yo, I found the wisps. Just before he went solo, Tails gave us the cipher for wisp language. We asked for their help in finding Eggman. They volunteered happily, even choosing to wait in deployment pods like these for when our troops could enter an area. But these guys are being hoarded. This is inexcusable. This is that Sonic X music. Hang tight, just a little longer. We'll free all of you. Hey, Knuckles stepping up. All right, let's go. Nice one, idiot. Yeah, now get us another round before we beat some sense into you. Wow, they make the hooligans look like class acts. Hey, shout out to the hooligans. If you guys aren't aware who the hooligans are, that is Fang, Bark, and Bean. This kind of like, I don't know. It's like a reference to them, even though they're not necessarily canon to the IDW comics in this particular world. We haven't seen them show up. But, you know, We'll see if that happens in the future. I'd love to see Fang Barkin be in any form sometime soon. I'm gonna break him in half. Steady. Let's take this one slow. Give the villagers a chance to get out of the line of fire. Right. Then I'll break them. Hey, Tweedledum and Tweedledummer. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. Maybe you heard of me. This is Knuckles the Echidna, commander of the Resistance. You guys are guilty of theft, extortion, kidnapping, and being grade A jerks. So you can either come along quietly or we're gonna get loud. Hey, bat. We're about to get loud in this bitch. Hey. I actually like that line. I'm covering the text, but that's actually pretty dope. Yo, I love how like Knuckles is actually taking the that pose looks like it's from Streets of Rage. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching here, but it does look similar to like this pose that he has here. It's just probably a coincidence though. Okay. Can we move along here? Kindle. Who said you could come into our town, huh? Who said you could ruin our fun? Yeah, we heard about you, hero, but you clearly ain't heard of us. You looking to scrap? Then let's get ready to crumble. Brace yourselves for rough and tumble. Hey, we got rough and tumble, man. Some people like these guys. I think it's supposed to be a badger and a skunk. Maybe. Hard to tell. It's one of those types of animals. Oh no. I was not prepared for this. Careful, Sonic. They're highly coordinated. Knuckles, you're the salt of the earth. Whatever, let's get him. Hey. Hold on, now they're fighting. I need that Sonic X music to kick in here. There we go. Hey, swing, pop, pow. So Rough and Tumble are two original characters within the comics, so they've never been seen before in any Sonic media or any Sonic game. I think a lot of people tend to enjoy these two because they're meant to be like, you know, the bumbling fools, but at the same time they carry a lot of charm. And I think it's a good writing device for two characters that can kind of move the story along. So if you need thugs or goons to do some stupid shit, you can use Rough and Tumble for those particular purposes. So yeah, they're not used a lot, but they will be very important later on for a kicking off point for the next particular arc, but we'll see that later on. Stink Bomber. Oh, look, so he is a skunk. So it is a honey badger and a skunk. Nicely done. That was a guess on my part. Yeah, like Bebop and Rocksteady, exactly. So these are like and Butch and Skull from the Power Rangers. There's always like, you know, that bumbling duo that serves as like a plot device for a lot of things. And you'll notice that a lot of, you know, stories that need something to kick something off, like they need somebody to create chaos or conflict in a situation. They will use characters like that to be the jumping off point of something more serious. You know what I mean? So they're not the cause of it, but they do start something, or maybe they'll run into somebody who's more mysterious and more powerful, and they'd be like, hey guys, like I can make you powerful, or I can give you this because those guys beat you. It's a very cool character trope in a lot of media. So, you know, next time you're watching stuff like this, always think about that. Like if you see somebody who's a bumbling idiot, they're a bumbling idiot for a reason. They're made to be jumping off points for certain plot devices. Bulk and Skull, that's the one, not Butch and Skull. Bulk and Skull. Sorry about that. But yeah, those two guys, those two guys tropes. Yes, Ken's familiar. Thanks for that. Very interesting trope though. All right, so freaking Knuckles smashes this dude's head into the freaking floor. like a accordion. All right, come on, bro. We ain't done yet. Ugh. You okay, dude? I'm fine. Oh yeah, I love it. So I love this idea though. Like he's not necessarily powerful, but he's still a fucking skunk at the end of the day. So that's pretty cool. Jesse and James, yeah, exactly. Jesse, James, and Meowth, same thing. Like you'll see them be the source of conflict for mostly like the unimportant episodes in Pokemon. Like they'll meet a new person and then their brand new Pokemon to show off the new Pokemon for that episode, and you know they'll have this character interaction like, oh, you know, my dad doesn't love me anymore. I don't think he loves me, and this is my Pokemon, and that's the only thing that ties me and my dad together. Then Team Rocket come in and try to steal that Pokemon and Pikachu. Then Ash helps out, and then you find out the dad loved this person all along, and it was all in their heads, and they're all happy. Then Ash moves along to the next episode. Rest in peace to Ash, by the way. Finally hanging up his hat. So, but yes, definitely a good trope. No more messing around. Say your prayers, chumps. Okay, that might be a problem. I'll distract them. You grab a Wispin of your own and... Oh, this smells so bad. I'm dying, Sonic. No, I can do one better. Wisps, it's me, your old buddy Sonic. I saved your planet from Dr. Eggman, remember? Harsh reference to Sonic colors. A bunch of you chose to stick around on this world. You helped me on Lost Hex. Oh, harsh shout out to Lost World. You helped the Resistance fight the Eggman Empire. And shout out to Sonic Forces, man, Jesus. I know fighting isn't your thing, but you've proven you're all powerful and brave. Don't let these jerks boss you around. They need you to bully everyone, but you don't need them. You're right. I can't believe I didn't come to this idealization before. Yeah, I miss my home. I'm going back to my wife after I help you. Let's murder these two. Oh, fist bump? Yeah, we don't even have to do shit. I actually like this too. See, so this is not... We didn't get a lot of this back in 2018 within the game. So Sonic IDW definitely left a lot to be desired because it had a lot of these really... refreshing character interactions between the Sonic cast, and so yeah, just phrasing it in the sense of like being back in 2018, this was definitely a welcome scene right here, and the ones before with Amy and Tails, for instance. Come on, one of you get in this thing right now. The tables have turned. They've certainly bumbled. It's butt kick time for Rough and Tumble. Hey. Oh shit, yes, they're getting wrecked. I believe in Sonic Underground, Robotnik had a duo who filled the same function, Dingo and Sleet. Yeah, actually they look very similar to these two. If you guys aren't familiar with Dingo and Sleet, Cubot and Orbot kind of serve the whole purpose now. They don't look the same, but they have the same like ridiculous vibe here. So that's Dingo and Sleet if you guys don't remember them, but they're like jackals or hyenas of some sort. And that was what Robotnik had back in Sonic Underground. I think Sonic Underground had a good basis for its plotline, by the way. Bro, by the way, I've been doing like a lot of research and all that, and you guys know that Jaleel White was like the first voice of Sonic, right? So like when I was doing the Chili Dog stuff, it just reminded me that, you know, like the stuff that he's done. So I kind of like went down this rabbit hole of him doing interviews relating to Sonic and stuff, but a lot of people tend to ask him more about Family Matters and being Steve Urkel, and I mean, no brainer, right? But I actually like had this crazy idea of reaching out to him to see if like he would do an interview with me. I didn't do it yet because I'm a little like, I got butterflies a little bit, but I think I may have enough clout. I don't know. I was wondering like if I should reach out to him this year or if I should like build up my audience a little bit more and then try it at a later date. But either way, like he seems like a pretty cool dude, and I'd love to ask him more about his time as Sonic, because you know, not only are you Urkel, you're voice acting for like one of the biggest video game characters of that time. Because at that time, like he was big, he was almost bigger than Mario at that time. So I'd love to hear his, like, you know, his experience with that and stuff. So it'd be pretty cool. He seems very approachable. So that's the only reason I had it in my mind. No, no, no. That's our thing. You can't do our thing. Pop. How? Arrested. Bro, I love how like they are like basically these undercover police force here. They like totally arrest these guys, tied up and everything. I think the moment Sonic appealed to the Wisp could have used a touch of action, dodging Wispin attacks until the Wisp neutralized tough rough and tumble's means of offense. I can agree with that, Raiko. He kind of stood there and monologued for a bit and listed off all the games that Wisps have been in. So yeah, it's a little jarring. But to appeal to them too, like it kind of feels like they're using the Wispins, and the Wispins are like, the Wisps are relinquishing their entire being to be used as those weapons, you know? So like considering that they allowed them to use them for the purpose of this war, it's a little weird they didn't release all of them before they, like after it finished. That's just my thought. I swear on my existence, this comic is called Fallout. Is it? Like, is that the title of this issue? I don't know if there's issue titles. I can't remember. It'd be great if Jaleel could come back someday or do classic Sonic. No harm in trying later. Lets you consider what you'd want to ask and how he felt as the first voice of Sonic. Yeah, because you know, I'd love to ask him about family matters and things like that too, but I want to put more focus on the Sonic side of things and see what he was doing, because he was voicing it up way into 1999, right before the release of Sonic Adventure. I'm actually curious if they even like tried to get him to voice Sonic in Sonic Adventure, or if they just totally recasted Ryan Drummond without reaching out and things like that. So just stuff to think about. It's the issue title. Okay. Okay, so I'll read the issue title before going into all of this. You did it. How can we ever repay you? Serve up some chili dogs and we'll call it even. Hey, yo, you know what? I'm going to make this a reference. I'm going to take a shot every time there's a chili dog reference, just because I am the chili dog Sonic man right now. How about I found out Chaotix made a chili dog video before I did. Like when I released it, that's when it was recommended to me, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy did like practically the same thing I did. And trust me, I didn't see that video beforehand, so it's kind of wild. Now there's 2 chili dog videos out there. I don't want anyone to accuse me of being inspired, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to Chaotix, bro. I respect him too. We're gonna take a shot after he mentioned every chili dog reference in this comic, and then if he eats one, we'll take a shot for that too. AJ Music, welcome. Sonic, he can really move. Oh, Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic,
he's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive.
All right. I'm only on issue 3, bro. I'm moving very slow. What's it saying? No idea. I don't have Tails translator handy. Drill! Thank you. Thank you so much. I get it now. It's saying the Wisp plan to stick around and help you guys defend the town. Hope you enjoyed it while it lasted. That's what she said. You two are going to be locked up for a long time. Their little cells won't hold us for long. We'll be out. Wait, this is the big guy. We'll be out, and then we're coming for you. You've made lifelong enemies of Rough and Tumble. All right. I love how they're like a freaking joke. Didn't ED recommend this on the Discord? Yeah. Ethereal Dragon, that was his idea, by the way. So shout out to him again. He did recommend it in my video suggestions. So if you're not on the Discord, you know, go ahead and join. It's in the description below. Go ahead and send me video suggestions. You'll never know which one I'll take up. I get a lot of suggestions from time to time. And whether I feel it's something that I'll fit into my schedule is another thing, but because I still want to do, you know, character analysis and origin oracles on different characters and things like that. But there are times where, you know, like I feel like switching things up and changing things up. And I think those will be good, like suggestions for moments like those. So thanks to Ethereal Dragon for the idea for the chili dog thing, because that's what made me do it in the first place. So shout out to your boy. And I think a lot of people are criticizing the recipe I used. That wasn't meant to be like taken seriously whatsoever. I just slapped together a chili dog because I don't even like chili dogs in general. So I put together like a recipe that was kind of bare bones and had like ingredients that I wouldn't mind eating. But I did give a proper recipe provided by the Archie comic in that video itself. So there you have it. Okay. Thanks for the help. Not that I needed it. Nah, but you didn't share the badniks outside. You owed me this. Hopefully this is a start of things settling down. I really do miss home. I wouldn't mind a vacation myself. What does a vacation for Sonic entail? That's like a video in itself. First, we've got to figure out who's controlling Eggman's leftover badniks. But before that, we party. Hey, this is part one. I've never seen like, I'd love to see like a Sonic party where everybody is like drunk off their ass and shit. Let's party. Hey, who would be the drunkest at that party? Would it be Knuckles or would it be like somebody you wouldn't expect it from, like Big the Cat or Amy? Hey, all right, cue the harsh soca music. Cue them Afro beats.
So, Knuckles is still playing hero on the surface. That means Angel Island is unguarded.
The Master Emerald is prone. That will accelerate my plans considerably.
Oh my god, who is this mysterious voice? The lemur? Actually, yes, I would say that I think her name's Tangle, right? I think Tangle would be the drunkest at that party. I think that Tangle would be the drunkest. I think you were just saying the lemur because you saw her name here, but yes, I would actually put it to her. That'd be an interesting thing to animate. But they're all underage, so it probably wouldn't be the best thing to actually animate. Or who knows? I don't know. I feel like all Sonic characters like over 30 at this point because they act that way. They don't have them acting like teenagers that much anymore. Okay. This morning I saw your video on why Sonic liked chili dogs. That inspired me to 1, follow you on YouTube, IG, Facebook, and Twitch, and 2, decide to never eat hot dogs again. Well, thank you, AJ Music. Thanks for all the followers on all the platform. I know that I've neglected IG, Facebook, and Twitch for a little bit. I'm most active on YouTube, Twitter, and Discord. But for all of those other outlets that you've mentioned there, I'm gonna try and improve my content on there a little bit. I stopped doing it because I wanted to be able to post properly, and so like in the very near future I'll probably get snippets and like clips from my videos and just start posting those instead, and then maybe like a picture of me from time to time and stuff like that, and see how those trend. I really have been neglecting those though, so it'd be good to kind of like up the speed on those particular social media outlets. So everybody feel free to follow me on those, and thank you AJ for all the support. I appreciate that, man. Much love. All right, so now we are on, oh yes, we now get to meet Tangle the lemur. You guys ever thought they would introduce a lemur into the Sonic story? This is pretty wild. Oh look, there's Blaze the cat back there. Hell yes. So this is still written by Ian Flynn. For some reason, I'm not seeing the titles of these issues, but the art is by Evan Stanley. I think Evan is actually another one of the good ones, art-wise, but we'll see. I'll see if this is the art style that I'm thinking when I read through this part. Okay, let me get the panel by panel thing going. Who would win Frontiers Sonic or Archie Comics? I'm gonna give it to Archie Sonic because he's pulled everything under the sun out of his ass and is just ridiculously overpowered. Frontiers is definitely overpowered, but he's like as powerful as Sonic, I would expect Sonic to be, which is why I enjoy Frontiers so much, because it's just kind of like all those abilities that he uses are things that you would expect him to use. It's just crazy how many new abilities that he has to beat the shit out of people now. It's wild. Oh yeah, make sure to follow me on Farmers Only. I'm looking for a date to ride through the cornfields with, you know, right outside my apartment. It's just all corn. So if you're into that, if you're into planting corn, if you're into corn mazes, riding tractors through the corn, let me know. Find me on Farmers Only. We'll talk there. And also follow me on Only Clams. It's an app that I created where I only show my clams. And not in a perverted way. It's just literally clams that I found in the ocean. So, you know, do not steal. Original idea. All right, let's go. Whoever is organizing Eggman's robots is really stepping up their game. I hope I'm not too late. I actually really like the design of this city right here. We don't see a lot of cities in Sonic games, so it's pretty cool to see this. Like outside of Station Square and like the towns that we went through in Sonic Unleashed, they tend to avoid town, like Soliana as well, but they tend to avoid towns. I would love to see like a more open world where he can race around like this and he can go from town to town. If they're gonna go somewhere with open world, it should be that. Because then you're gonna strike down a lot of the criticisms for Frontiers where people were saying that the world was too empty. So carry the same vibe, but have towns like this and like little hubs to interact with people and for people to fan over Sonic and stuff like that. That'd be super cool in my opinion. Okay. It's gonna be tough fighting off this army on my own. Maybe Amy was right. I could use the Resistance help on this one. Then again, the Resistance is already here. Wait. Sorry, I'll start over. Then again, the Resistance isn't already here. Maybe word hasn't reached them yet? In that case, if I was with them, I never would have known about this attack. And he brings out a good point, right? So if he's with the Resistance, it'd be more coordinated. So that's why I think it's more in character for Sonic to be on his own and just like racing around the area. He is the best tool for reconnaissance in this sense. So I agree with him here. No time for second guessing. Bash the bot, save the town, keep it simple. Somebody's here? Hey, whoa! Look, it's Tangle. Do I think Archie Sonic would win against every Sonic character? Probably. I'd have to get myself more familiar with the Archie comics. So if people like this, me reading the IDWs enough, then I'll do the Archie comics after, and we can, you know, determine that a little bit better. Bro, her tail is so freaking broken. So she was actually referenced in Sonic Frontiers, which is why everybody thinks that all of the canon is canon. So even like the Sonic comics, everything is going to be together now. What they do with that, we will only know what we don't know what the future holds, but we'll know in the future, I guess. All right. So it's another action scene. I gotta find my let's find my Tangle voice here.
Woo and ow! Woo and ow!
I don't know. I gotta
Change up my pitch. There it is. Okay. Woo and ow. Woo and ow.
There it is. Okay.
watch your back.
Oops. Thanks. Welcome to my hometown. Sorry for the mess. We've got a bit of a robot problem.
Problem? What problem?
You're sweet not to notice. Nice one. You're a natural. Do you do this a lot?
You could say that. Sonic, that wait. Oh yeah, that's the first line. This is actually weird, the order here. You could say that. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, sweet. Always wanted to meet you. Tangle the lemur.
Charmed.
Likewise. Okay.
I have to have the chipmunk filter, you know, because she's a isn't that what you think a lemur would sound like? Tangle the monkey thing. Essentially the mascot of IDW Sonic. I honestly think this is their favorite original character, and it's between her and Whisper. I tend to like Whisper better, but I don't mind Tangle so much. But I think this is their favorite character because she got like her own series, like her own spin-off series very quickly into this. So you can tell that they really like her as a character. I think what they're doing too, you'll find out later in this comic that for some reason, there's a lot of focus on the original characters for IDW. And I think they do this because they have more leeway to work with those characters versus like the Sonic characters themselves. So instead of stepping on like mandates that Sega has, they're like utilizing these characters a lot more. And while I like them for the most part, I find myself wanting more interactions between like the main Sonic cast. That's my one critique for IDW, and we'll see more of that later on. But like definitely later on, it gets heavy on the OC plots. Okay, I didn't miss anything. Styx was referenced in Frontiers 2. That is correct, Caden. So yeah, they're referencing Boom characters as well. Styx I didn't mind either. Like, I don't want Styx as like a central character within any type of Sonic game in the future, but I think she's like a nice little comic relief. I think she was interesting enough, and her design is pretty decent too. So
I've been fending off the odd raids for a while now, but this is nuts. Oh,
I know what that means. Pow, 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 pow. I want all the smoke. I need like a gunshot sound effect here. Why do I have that? Okay. Yeah, the random gangs are starting to get organized. Don't know why. I'm looking into it. Oh, that's a big motor bug. I forgot about this thing. That's wild. I like this. Yo, it has like a huge laser beam or a tractor beam. Looks like a hyper beam from freaking Pokemon. All right, so action scene here.
I don't suppose you're the advance guard for the Resistance.
Pretty sure they're all busy with similar attacks elsewhere.
Lovely. So split them 50-50?
If you can keep up, sure. I love that sound effect. It changes the context of like every freaking line. It's amazing. Ian Flynn is nerding off. He's really excited that his characters are in the Sonic world. Yeah, I think it's like Ian Flynn nerding out over his own characters. Self-insert characters and things like that. I mean, I don't think Ian Flynn is perfect, but that's why I kind of preferred the like how Sonic Frontiers is written in a sense, because you can tell it's like very focused on the core characters, and like I don't think he has as much room to run with it as he does in the game setting. So, but yeah, now that Tangled and all of them are like canonized in those games, I'm hoping he doesn't like go overboard with it, in my opinion. Okay. Foosh, he also has a podcast, by the way. I used to listen to it quite a bit, but not so much anymore because there's nothing substantial in it after a while. Like, there was some pretty interesting tidbits and questions that come by, but some people are like, hey, if you could write what Sonic's favorite food would be outside of chili dogs, what would it be? And like, you know, those questions I don't really care for too much. I have a lot of people ask me questions like that on stream too. Like, hey, what would happen if Shadow never existed? It's cool to talk about what ifs, but a lot of them don't really interest me because I don't write those things. You know, if I were a writer for it, then maybe, you know, I could give a more interesting answer. But when I see Ian Flynn being asked questions like that, and then when real questions are asked, like, hey, so can you tell us like why exactly the Chaos Emeralds can do this but not do that? He'll be like, no, I can't answer that question. I don't think Sega would be very happy if I answered it. So, and I get it, like you're under a contract restraints, but it doesn't add much to the podcast. So I kind of backed off a little bit, but it's definitely an interesting podcast for the most part. Enter Blaze. Hell yeah. Blaze is still one of my favorites, man. The most consistently written character overall. No issues with her or how she's been perceived in any games, even Sonic 06. Though, like, her whole backstory is a little bit weird. It'd be interesting to see if they finally finalize like what the order of events were there. But I think it's just safe to say that Sonic 06 is in its own specific continuity. It's not connected to any of the games, or it's like this minor alternate parallel universe, you know? I think that's the best way to look at it in a sense. Best of the female Sonic cast in the house. Exactly. I mean, she's close to Rouge. I think Rouge is pretty good overall, but why am I getting a random black page here? Oh no, come on. Bro, Amazon's Kindle app sucks. Whoever's working on that shit, take this as a harsh critique. You need to fix this. It shouldn't be that hard to show comic book pages on a desktop screen. And it's not my internet connection, by the way, because I'm streaming like at perfect quality right now. So yeah, this artist I like too as well. Evan, he's very good. So it's between him and Adam Bryce Thomas that are my favorites. Like, you can tell, like, I love his very smooth artwork. Like, he kind of blends the colors very well. Whoa. Wait.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. It's Blaze time. Hey, Blaze. Sonic. Man, how do I do this?
Sonic, you are here. I assume these are Dr. Eggman's robots.
You know it. The village needs our help, so if you don't mind...
It would be my pleasure.
It's them telling you to buy a Kindle, probably. But you know, like, hey, how am I gonna do this? I could do this on a Kindle, but come on. If you want people to stream your stuff, maybe I'm not supposed to be streaming books and comics anyway, but who knows? Maybe I might get copyright struck for showing this in the first place. All right, who had the saddest story? I'd say Blaze in 06. Or maybe Silver to an extent. Or maybe I'm not thinking about that question hard enough. Actually, no, let's give it to Shadow. I'll give it to Shadow. Shadow has a pretty tragic backstory. It didn't really dawn on me the nuance of Shadow's like whole backstory until I did an Origin Oracle on Shadow. And I like really got into the nitty gritty and like seeing all the renditions of Shadow go through so much bullshit. Like in Sonic 06, like he's dealing with people who aren't totally comfortable with him helping out in life, but he's doing it anyway to find purpose and stay true to Maria's message. In Sonic X, they kill off another character that he was gaining some respect and getting closer to, which in the last season or whatever. I think Shadow still has not found his place in the Sonic canon. And I'm hoping in the next Sonic game, which based on how Sonic Frontiers ended, I think it leaves room for Shadow and Rouge or other characters to kind of be in the spotlight more so than Amy, Tails, and Knuckles, which is what I think they're going to do based on how it ended. But I would like to see some exploration of like Sonic's Shadow's character after the fact, and kind of like give him a space where he's like, he feels more comfortable around the cast, you know? It's just very hard to write around somebody who is probably as strong as Sonic. So I think that's why Sega struggles with it from time to time, because it's like the question is, why isn't Shadow helping out? Or why is Shadow not ending this threat? For Frontiers, it made sense because it's kind of like an isolated incident somewhere else. But if it's like a world crisis, it's very hard to write around Shadow. I'm not saying it's very hard, but you guys get my point. I think it's just kind of like it's a challenge to write around Shadow, knowing that he has the same abilities, if not more, than Sonic himself. So just a talking point. I think that I hope they fix all of that with Shadow, and with Sonic Prime, it looks like they are going to do that. Archie Charmy does get pretty bad. I was actually very shocked by that storyline. Can you imagine, like, hey, there's this small inconsequential bee from this game called Knuckles Chaotix. What can you do for me? And they freaking ruined this guy's life 3 times over. Is wild. Okay. Very nice artwork of Blaze here. I just adore like Blaze's abilities and the way she carries herself too. She is royalty. And I like pyrokinesis. That's always like a fun power in any story. Okay, so all action. She points the laser back into the Motobug. That's kind of savage. All right, so now we get to see Tangle her tail everywhere. This is why she's called Tangle. Go figure, right? This tail can literally do anything, and it can stretch as far as Luffy's arms from One Piece, bro. All right, here comes Sonic. I really like this shot, actually. So this is black and white done very well. Because, I don't know. I'm not a huge artist, but I'm going to explain how this panel was made. Sonic is not the focus here, but at the same time, because he's in black and white, it puts an accent on his movements. And we see the giant Motobug in focus. So Sonic is kind of like the backdrop of it, but you can tell that whatever is happening to this Motobug right now is from Sonic. Like, he's the one that did this in particular. And it was so so the speed dripping off of the black shadows and things like that show that this is exactly his doing. And he did it so fast that you don't even see what the particular attack was. I think that's a very well placed panel. I like that a lot. And that's through all the chaos of what Tangle and Blaze were doing. So it really hits the ground running, for lack of a better word. All right, so here we have more action. He's using the boost. He's going into his ball, and he just walks right through this freaking egg pond. So here's the teamwork from all three of them. Tangle is just enjoying this. This is great. Elephanto gun! Yeah, right? I'd like the next Sonic game to have Shadow playable and find creative uses for his chaos control and the combat heavy playstyle. He's easily applicable to the established blueprints. So Raiko, what I've been saying for a very long time is that they need to do a Sonic and Shadow game. Call it Sonic and Shadow. Much like as a reference to Sonic and Knuckles. And yeah, you just write a story based around the two coming together to solve a problem. And not only do you get to write around that dynamic and they have their own particular levels, but you also have two characters that don't interact much for very long since Sonic Adventure 2. Even in Sonic Adventure 2, they don't even talk much. So this is an opportunity for the two characters to actually be around each other, work together, and gain more respect for one another. Because only whenever we see them, it's only like in bits and pieces, and it's like, oh my god, the two are together. Are they gonna fight? Are they not gonna fight? So I think a Sonic and Shadow game would definitely put some major focus. And then for those, you can involve Shadow, Rouge, and Omega in that sense, and Sonic can interact with those two characters he doesn't interact with enough within the game. So that's just my opinion. Always thought that was a good idea. All right.
I'm afraid the three of us are not enough.
The town's militia out there too. The town's militia is out there too.
Regardless, they're refilling their ranks faster than we can dispose of them.
They're all coming from that battleship. Not long ago, it flew in and has been dropping bots and dropping robots since.
A little beefier than the dropship Amy and I took out. Blaze, can you make it up there?
It's too high. It's completely out of range for me.
I know we all just met, but... Hop on?
Ew, we gotta hold on to your tail? I don't want to hang on to your limbs. I don't want to hang on to your gross limbs. Ready? Ready. So honestly, if you guys had to ask me if Sonic had to be in any type of relationship, it would be with Amy. Not that I'm pushing for this to ever happen or whatever, and not like I'm pining for them to ever be together, but it makes the most sense. But I do love the dynamic between Sonic and Blaze. It makes a lot of sense if they were a thing. But at the same time, it's kind of like Loki in a sense, where like in that series, he was like, he met himself in a parallel dimension, and it's a girl version of himself, and then they eventually fall in love. I think there's a very similar deal. Well, they don't fall in love, but Blaze is essentially her dimension Sonic. Though she is like a princess and she has different backgrounds, there's no alternate dimension Sonic in her dimension. She is that person. So until otherwise stated, I'm going to assume they're like the same person in different dimensions, essentially.
Bon voyage!
Man, see, look how ridiculous that tail gets. That tail can stretch as far as it needs to go to match any particular situation. Weak. Oh yeah, and I'd personally appreciate that hypothetical Sonic and Shadow focused story not having them fight. Yeah, I agree. Like, you know, maybe a fight at the beginning just to like, I don't know, it doesn't have to be in there. That'd be forced. But I would love to, like, the Sonic and Shadow, the purpose of that is for them to come together and like set aside like their rivalry for the moment to solve a problem, much like they did in Sonic Adventure 2. And like the whole thing is They were never really rivals like that in Sonic Adventure 2. Shadow was trying to do something and Sonic continuously got in his way. So they were forced to clash at the end. Like Shadow very much at the end, like the speech between them was like, in a sense, he really didn't want to kill Sonic, but he was like, I have to do this to meet the goal that I was sent here to do. And then after that, when all of that's null and void and the whole plot line of the arc coming down, Shadow drops that completely, right? So, but then when they had him come back, now it's become this thing. It's fan service. Like we have to have him disagreeing and arguing with Sonic every single time, which I think for SA2 it made sense, but now not so much. You know, I think it could be a friendlier rivalry than what we're seeing right now. Sonic Prime is the best version of Shadow we've gotten in a while, but it's still like pushing that same narrative, and that's my. But we'll see more of it come the next season. Maybe we'll see more Shadow involved in Sonic Prime. So we'll see. Does it stretch, or does she have like a mile of tail inside her and can unravel it at will? I'd like to think it's like a I would like to think it's like a freaking the widget. Is that what it's called? Not the widget. What's the thing that comes out of those trucks? Like the ones we see in Jurassic Park, like the one you can pull and latch onto something. Fuck. Switch. It starts with a W. I forget the name, but like a tow truck, exactly. I would love to think that her tail works that way. You have to unravel it, and then she has to like press a button on the back of her spine to retract it back in, like this gross body horror. Star and Sora, welcome. It doesn't make sense, but it has to happen because they're rivals, I guess. Hey, do it for the fan service at the end of the day, but I mean, come on. I think their relationship kind of needs to go somewhere at some point. You can't just have the same interaction over and over, in my opinion. Here we have Sonic and Blaze teaming up. Oh, that's a huge buzz bomber. Oh, hey, look, see, now this makes me want a Sonic basketball game, bro. Can we do like a Sonic and Mario Hoops 3-on-3? Bro, if you guys have not played Mario Sports Mix for the Wii, that shit was legendary. That's like the perfect basketball game. I'm sure it hasn't aged very well, but I remember I played that one night and I had a fucking blast with that game. And it has like some Final Fantasy character cameos in there. Amazing game. I'd love to see like a sports game with Sonic with ridiculous proportions. Like, can you imagine them playing like American football or soccer or something? They do it in the Olympic Games, but it's restricted. It's basically like regular soccer. Can you imagine them running miles and miles of field to get some shit in the goal? And they're just playing like dirty. They're just playing completely dirty. Everybody's using their abilities and shit. There's no fouls, nothing like that. No yellow cards, no red cards. They're just going at it. Ugh, I'd love that shit. Sega, why don't you do these things? All right. So Blaze does a basketball 3-pointer, Steph Curry shot up into freaking the buzz bomber. Look at this. Look at this face. So Evan is the one that does the expressions too. So Adam, Bryce, Thomas, and Evan, I forget his last name. They both have a very particular way of expressing emotion on the Sonic characters, and I love it a lot. It gives them so much more character. Tangle did have Werehog syndrome, right? All right. Look at this panel. This is a very graceful shot. Like, she's very regal, and I like it. Blaze is like ridiculously overpowered in this comic though too, so they like kind of write her out the story every so often. So enjoy her while it lasts, because this shit is wild. Look at this. Such a underutilized character.
That was amazing. So cool. But is Sonic gonna be all right? He will be.
There it is, as he safely bounces on the ground. That was so much fun, you guys.
Is your life always this exciting?
If I can help it. Yeah. Time to cancel me? I've been canceled so many times already. No, I'm just kidding. Not yet. I'm not popular enough to be canceled yet. But hey, once we get to like a certain amount of subscribers, I'll start my new NFT business. I'll call it Mentoks. So that'll be my coin, $TOK. and we'll get some NFTs out there for you guys. And I will have images of all the futures that I predict and all the timelines that I predict, and we'll work it that way. Right. So introductions. Blaze, this is Tangle. She's a local. Tangle, this is Blaze. She's a princess from another dimension and guardian of the soul emeralds. They're like chaos emeralds, but fiery.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for saving my home, Your Highness. You are welcome. And please, just call me Blaze.
I'm always happy to see you, but what's the occasion?
I felt the will of the soul emeralds. I've come to prevent a terrible event on your world.
No offense, but you're about 7 months late. Yeah, why the fuck were you late for the war against mankind? Anyone can get canceled, anyone. Oh, we've seen that happen before. I've seen like such small drama on like very small Twitter accounts, like people with like 50 followers, and they're just be like, hey, here's my twit longer. I'm so sorry that I did the thing that I did, and I'm ashamed. I'm gonna be working on myself, and I apologize for all the people I've hurt in this process. You won't see me on Twitter for a very long time. And then they'll pop up 3 months later. It's kind of it's kind of crazy the world we live in, man. All right, let's move along. Ooh, nice song. I like this song.
What do you mean?
Eggman locked me up and took over the world.
What?
So, oh, wait. It's cool. My friends busted me out and we kicked his butt. You know, it wasn't anything crazy, you know what I'm saying? You know? Oh, God, I'm tired.
Hold on. You said the leftover badniks are getting organized, right?
Yeah, so far it doesn't seem like it's Eggman, but...
Doesn't matter. The point is they're getting dangerous. What if the war is just beginning? What if there's something even worse on the way? The soul emeralds are not chatty. If they directed me here, it was for a purpose.
I love how the soul emeralds can like give her the ability to move to other dimensions. Like, I'm pretty sure the chaos emeralds have the capability of doing so. Like, if you can do chaos control, I'm sure you can transfer dimensions. I forgot what caused Sonic to be in her world in the first place in Sonic Rush. I can't remember, but I know it was like something with Eggman and Eggman Nega. Oh my God, what did you just say? Yeah. But yeah, I think it has something to do with that, but I don't know if the Chaos Emeralds were involved or is them working alongside like the Soul Emeralds on the other side of the dimension, which caused what happened to happen. But yeah, interesting plot point. The Soul Emeralds seem to be like a little bit more broken.
And I will remain here until that purpose is made clear.
I know I can count on you.
But first, many parts of your village are burning. I will do what I can to calm the flames. Show me where you need me. You are amazing. Follow me! I'll leave the hunt for the ringleader to you for now. Bye, Sonic! Thanks for everything!
Ciao! Ooh, man, after all that, I need a breather. That'll do. That's a good joke. Decent joke. Do the Soul Emeralds ever go make Blaze do errands for them? Like, hey, Blaze, go get us some chips. Yeah, they're not chatty. They just kind of tell you, hey, you want chips and dip tonight, so that's what you're gonna go buy. Which name do you hate so much? The Talk Bucks or something that I read? It was hard to get the context on that. Elsewhere.
It's late. It's time to come in.
But it's busted. I can't get right inside. Mom. Oh ho ho! Don't you worry, little one. I'll fix your little red wagon. Oh shit! It's Dr. Tinker time. Soon I'll be fixing everything. Bum bum bum. Oh yeah. Cake Dope, thanks for joining Team Mentok. Hopefully you're in the stream right now. If you're not, then, you know, enjoy my content anyway. The doctor is in, baby. So now we are in the next issue. which would be issue number 5. So we're almost halfway through the first set of comics. The plot is building, so we're getting a lot of character interactions, a lot of character build-up for new characters, OCs, things like that. And also the artists are kind of breaking into the series. I'm Caden said I gotta leave, bro. Keep up the good work, by the way. Thank you so much, Caden. Thanks for your support. Appreciate you coming through. Everybody give a round of applause for your boy Caden. Or, you know what, I want to assume. Give round of applause for Caden. Thanks for coming through. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love to see it. Definitely want to do a chiller stream today, so I hope you guys are relaxing on this Friday night, wherever you are, Friday evening, Friday morning, it doesn't matter. Thanks for stopping by. This has been a pretty fun experience for me so far. I don't got to go too crazy, and I get to go through one of my, favorite comic series with one of my favorite video game characters of all time. So it's been dope so far. All right. Oh, Eggman Nega. Yeah, I know that never I used to joke about that in high school too, bro. Like the joke is just way too obvious, man. That's like, that deserves like a gasp. It's like, yeah, so, it's me out here with my boy, and one day Eggman pulled through, but you'll never guess who popped up too. Who? Eggman, nigga. No, that's not what I meant. No, I meant it's Eggman from another future, like another dimension. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. All right, let's get into this. Issue number 5. You know what I'll do? I'm gonna go use the bathroom really quickly. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Stay put. You like I can summon memes on command? It's been a long, I really had to build that up over time. So I'm glad somebody appreciates that. I'll be right back. 2 seconds. Oof. Yo, did you guys like my chair hosting for a little bit? Sometimes people say my chair is a lot better than I am. I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment. You know what I mean? So here's my second beer of the night. Hey, get you guys a cold little brew, man. Get some snacks. Are you guys enjoying this so far? Is this something that I should do in the future, like every Friday? Let me know, because I'm enjoying this immensely. I know there's not 100 people watching me right now, but at the end of the day, I'm loving this shit so far. So go get some snacks, go get a nice soda, get a nice beer, whatever you got in your freezer, get a cold one, sip with the boys. Let's continue on. I am enjoying this reread. It gives me some time to analyze a lot of this stuff too, which is pretty dope. So story is still being written by, oops, wrong cam. That's the Lego cam. The Lego cam is out of commission right now, so let's go back to this one. Okay, Inkslay Roblox, welcome. All right, I'm caught up on the chat so far. All right, so this one is still written by Ian Flynn. Art is by Tracy Yardley. So every single one that we've seen so far has been a new artist. Thank you, Inkslay, for the sub. Welcome to the channel. You don't know what you just got yourself into, bro. No, just kidding. It's not that serious, but thanks. I'm trying to find my way to 100,000 subscribers, hopefully by the year's end. If I can get to at least 50, I'd be happy with that. If I can get at least 30, I'm happy with that. But I'll be definitely putting out a lot more content this year. Well, probably the same amount. I'm not gonna do false promises, but you know what I'm saying. I appreciate every sub that comes through, but if you guys enjoy the content, make sure that you like it, like the stream too. Just give a second to your boy and show some love. But hey, I'm not forcing anybody to do that. All right, let's get into this. So if you guys have noticed, every issue so far has been by a different artist. So I've already told you my top 2. Let's see what Tracy Yardley here has got. Let's see if she's gotten some artist chops here. Of course, there's all the others. We got to give credit to all the other people. Like, there's people that are inking this stuff, they're coloring it. Letterings is important. If you guys notice, there's like bold words and stuff to put emphasis on certain things and terms and things like that. Then you have like the edits. So you have to edit the script and then finally the publisher. So a lot of work goes into each issue. So shout out to everybody that actually works on this. I'm sure it's like it's a painstaking thing. So this is cool. Why does Sonic need rings? That's one of those things I've been trying to figure out, Inkslay, man. Like, I've put out a video about rings in the past, and I put all of my information that I could possibly find within that one. Seeing as Sonic Prime is referencing rings as a power source in this sense, it's pretty interesting. I'm wondering if there's ever going to be anything behind that. You know, maybe if we're exploring the origins of the Chaos Emerald at this point in Sonic Frontiers, maybe we'll find out what happened with these friggin' rings and why they exist in the first place. So, just something. Maybe he can't find a girl. Hey! My dog set me up? You set me up. Okay, cool. Yeah, you deleted it? Why'd you delete it, bro? You gotta make the joke with your chest, bro. Make the joke with your chest. Here we go.
Previously. Oh, sorry. This way.
Previously.
Tails pointed something out that's been bugging me. The last group of badniks we faced was way more organized, but Eggman hasn't shown up to claim responsibility. Subtlety is not his forte. Right? Then it's all the more reason for you to come back to the Resistance. No, it's all the more reason for me to hit the road and find out what's going on. So it's a simple plot right now. A lot of Eggman's robots are going on a rampage. Eggman has not claimed ownership over this, and they're trying to figure out who's behind all of it. And we see Eggman coming to fix a little boy's red wagon at the end of the previous one. So he's about to kill this little boy, right? Right? Oh, so we have the roll call finally, actually. So at the beginning of every issue from this point on, I don't know why they do this per se, but maybe it's just to kind of introduce the character if you're not familiar with them. But in this one, we'll see Sonic, the Chaotix, actually, SPO, Vector, and Charmy B. Even Anton's Badnik Unicycle and Hoverby. I love how they get the credit too in this roll call. Chaotix Detective Agency. All right, so we're gonna see them introduced. Careful, on your right. Left, right, everywhere. They have us surrounded. This is actually a pretty cool shot. What is this supposed to be? Is this just a random loop-de-loop in the sky? Meh, we've handled more than just this before. Just gotta get into the swing of things. Roger that. Have you and the Chaotix tracked down Eggman yet? Hold on. Incoming. You know somebody who's not utilized a lot within games? It's SPO. I think after Sonic Heroes, like, he was showcased a lot in Shadow the Hedgehog. But I think that's the last time we saw him in like a significant way. So this is also a welcome addition as well. Like, it's just weird seeing these two interact because SPO is not really a talkative person, but he's not utilized as much as he should be. So it's cool seeing the Chaotix kind of like flex a little bit here. SPO's voice is on point. Hey, I try my best here. All right, so they're matching up. Look, I love how the flick, actually, nice little detail too. The flickies are still being used to create the badniks here. So that's something that they kept within the IDW comics. What's your favorite Sonic Underground character? Mine is Manic because I like drums. I didn't watch a lot of Sonic Underground, but I actually like Knuckles in that one. In the brief time that he showed up, he had like an interesting backstory going on for him, but they completely dropped that plot line. So thanks for the help with the badniks. They've been getting more organized lately. You know, I would knock the comic for having Sonic say the same thing over and over again, but you know, hey, if you if you had to tell somebody the same story about something that you witnessed, you'd probably repeat yourself the same exact way. So I can't give that too much flack. I guess Eggman is gearing up for something big again. Actually, I don't believe the doctor is behind this. Stooge Muffin Stuffin. I love that name. Join Team Mentok. Welcome to the squad, bruv. If you're in the street. Oh, so you guys have a lead? Better than that. We began our search in the ruins of Imperial City and found nothing but wreckage. So we tried his last known lab. Orbot and Cubot were cooperative, but they knew nothing. I do like that the Chaotix do take a heavy detective role within this comic book series. I think they did it the same in the Archie, but this one actually like focuses on them investigating certain things, and we'll see more of that later on as well. So this is actually a pretty cool thing. Let's see, you're at the last season of the show. Which show? Oh, Sonic Underground. Yeah, I thought there was only one season. Maybe there was two. Sucks we'll never see the ending to that. Eggman's computer system showed no escape plans or personal traffic. He seems certain he'd win our last encounter. Eggman's computer system. Wait, I just read that. What the fuck? Okay, so wait. Is this Zero? E106? That's interesting, actually. That looks like Zero, but they have like an E106 robot. I don't know what this Greek sign is. Iota? We need more E106 to show up. Searching his other bases turned up nothing but trouble. Well, nuts. You guys are the best detectives I know. We're the only detectives you know. Semantics. So why did you call me out here if you haven't found him? We did. Sort of. Wait, what? We received an anonymous tip that led us to the village I'm taking you to now. So technically, we didn't find him. You could have just skipped ahead to I'm taking you to Eggman. I agree with that, bro. I wanted you to understand how hard we work. That's actually like a funny line. I'll do that sometimes too. Like I'll say like the entire process of what it took for me to do the errand for somebody, just so they know what I went through to get it done. So shout out to SPO over here for that. These three need a solo game. You know, like honestly, I would love a solo Chaotix game in the form of like a Phoenix Wright game. So like more story oriented, but them actually doing detective work. That way you're not like stepping on toes and it's just like, hey, like this is just another Sonic game with different characters. But maybe not like fully visual novel, give it like some gameplay. But if you mix like a Phoenix Wright thing with like the Sonic stuff, I think you would have a good Chaotix game, in my opinion, if you want to do a solo game for them. Duly noted. Now let's get moving. What gives? Everything looks fine here. Sonic, you made it! Oh, that sounded
Evil. Okay.
Hey, little buddy, is everything okay?
Oh, yeah. This place. Can I give him like a super annoying voice? I'm gonna make him sound like this. Oh, yeah. This place is great. There's a lot of kiss my age. And tons of mountain flowers.
That's cool, but what about, you know, the big guy?
That's right. You haven't met him yet. Hold on, we'll get him.
All right, I won't do that the whole time. I'll just like scare the whole chat off. Come on. All right, no need to get all excited. Oh my God, is that Eggman? Got Eggman here. Oh my gosh. I love how miserable Vector here is. He's like, this is some bullshit, bro. What is this? What is going on here? Magalore Memes, thanks for coming through, man. Everybody give a quick shout out to Magalore. Thanks for coming through. I hope you have a great rest of your day, man. You deserve it. Yeah. Thanks for coming through. All right. How do you do? They call me Mr. Tinker. All I need is Sonic to give like the camera an office look. Just like stare directly into my eyes. He doesn't do it. Did you really think I'd buy this act, Doc? Doc, I don't think I've earned a doctorate. But then again, I'm afraid I don't remember much of anything. Except how to fix and build stuff. He's the best. Well, I certainly try. Uh-huh. So you don't remember any of our fighting over the Chaos Emeralds? I'm not familiar with that cut. Lost Hex? Somebody lost a magic spell? The Ark? Has a parabola? The Death Egg? Are you just throwing random words together? I don't understand. I actually like the whole Mr. Tinker plot. I legit thought that he was faking it because it just seems like something Eggman would do. So good on them for actually bringing this plot point forward. I'm not going to spoil anything, but this is pretty well done. Don't sweat it, Mr. Tinker. This is all a case of mistaken identity, like the computer room. Are you sure? If I can help, I would love to, but nah, you just get back to what you were working on. This is what I meant when I said we sort of found Eggman. And you're sure it's not an act? He's pulled similar stunts in the past. We've thoroughly investigated him and observed him for a couple of days. It's legit. He remembers nothing. Yeah, but he can be extremely dangerous. This is another Sonic Adventure reference. Bro, Egg Viper, man. That shit put me through the ringer when I was a kid. When I first played Sonic Adventure, I was struggling through that thing. And then once you like beat the shit out of it, finally, like he does a suicide attack at the end. It's wild. This is like one of my favorite Sonic bosses, though. It's well thought out, even though it's glitchy at times. It was definitely a good change of pace. Took me a while to actually beat Sonic's story in Sonic Adventure. Never mind the close calls I've had while fighting him. He can threaten whole planets at a time. I mean, Sonic, they know this. Sonic Adventure 2 reference, where he pissed on the moon. This is Sonic Generations. That's the Time Eater. Sonic Unleashed. Interesting that they showed Sonic Generations before Unleashed. But he did blow up the planet one time. But seeing him like this... That's why I called you. You have no clue what to do. We have no clue what to do. Sure, he's done some nasty stuff in the past, but can you really punish a guy who doesn't remember doing any of it? So that is a nice question of morality, right? Like, what do you do if someone's a completely different person, even though they've committed, a ton of atrocities on the world? Honestly, in the eyes of the law, it's the same thing. Whether you have amnesia or you're a totally different person, you're going to jail for the shit that you did. Doesn't matter what happened. So this is a pretty simple question to answer, like the way most governments work. But it kind of sucks, like, from a perspective of thinking about it. Like, you have no idea that you ever did any of those things and you just want to help people out, but you're sitting in a jail cell for something that in your head you technically didn't do. It's a nice little, philosophical thing to think about. The questions of morality and all that. Ethereal, good night. Thanks for coming through, everybody. Give a round of applause. Ethereal, thanks for coming by. The crimes have been committed and justice must be served. Eggman must be punished. Right, but would you really say that's Eggman? As he's sewing up some little kid's teddy bear? No. Sure, your town, your rules, right? Oh, wait, I read that the wrong way. No. Excuse me, I'm head of the village. May I weigh in on the subject? Sure, your towns, your rules, right? Yes, but in this case, I would defer to the judgment of a famous hero. Before you make your decision, please consider this. That man appeared in our village one day without warning. We're still not sure how he arrived. We locked him up immediately, but the next day we found he'd broken out just to reinforce his own cell. I did what I could for the hinges, but you'll need an entirely new deadbolt. Just like the Chaotix, we questioned and tested him for days. Never once did he show signs of his old villainous ways. Once we realized he wasn't well himself, we nursed his wounds and took him in. In return, he repaid our kindness tenfold. He repaired anything we bought him, from the smallest, most delicate work. to the largest, most grueling efforts. Which brings into question, like, the amount of good Eggman could do if he was actually a decent dude. It's cool to see a what if of the situation. I would love to see, I'm pretty sure an Archie comic probably did this, but I would love to see like an alternate dimension where Eggman's the good guy trying to help humanity and Sonic is like this super fast menace that's like destroying everything in his wake. That'd be pretty dope. What's your favorite Sonic Forces boss? I like the Infinite boss. I like the music. The bosses were not all that great to me in Sonic Forces, but I would say my favorite was probably the very first Infinite boss with Sonic running down the snake. I thought that was pretty cool. And I think that the Zavik one was probably the most polished, but you know, not my favorite one. But I think it had the most mechanics going for it. So, but I do like the Infinite boss battle. The first one is my favorite. The last one kind of needed some work. And then the very last Eggman boss at the end is pretty decent too. I like the theme behind it. Split up between like two Sonics and the Avatar is pretty cool. Okay, continuing on. I know Dr. Eggman is a terrible man. I've heard stories of horrors I can hardly imagine, but meaning he's killed people. But Mr. Tinker has been a blessing to our village. I know that he cannot undo the evil he's done, but I'd rather he remain free to do some good than rot in a cell and do nothing. So this is like some otherworldly. Also, Alita, thanks for the sub. I don't know if you're in the stream, but this is actually some pretty interesting like things to think about. Like, what if this guy has like such an amazing mind that he's doing good for the world? Do you let a mind like that sit in a jail cell, or do you have them help your community and possibly, you know, help advance the world to like crazy amounts? I don't know. It's kind of like, it's interesting to think about, especially in context for like someone like Eggman who has a superhuman intellect. So if he has amnesia all of a sudden and he's just this guy that's helping everybody out, I don't know. Interesting to think about. It's a nice little thing. Rouge is hot in my opinion. Hey, somebody came through and said it, bro. Hey, I think like furries and non-furries alike can get behind that idea. But you know, it's Rouge, man. They know what they know what they did. Jet, welcome to the stream. I'm on issue 5. I'm on issue 5 of Sonic IDW, so I'm just reading through it. I think I'm like halfway through the first saga of it. So if people like this stuff enough, I might do this every Friday and you know, keep reading up on this and just kind of like giving my thoughts on the story and all that. Because I think this is like this had to walk for like Frontiers and all those plot lines that are coming in the future to run, no pun intended. You know. So yeah. All right, let's keep it going. Ugh, this was so much easier when it was just, I hate that hedgehog. We could stick around and keep an eye on him. Nah, that's just delaying things. It's better we figure this out before.
Bandits coming from the south. They're coming up the mountain. Run!
You guys head him off. I'll handle Eggman. You got it. Charmy, get out of here. We got work to do. Hot take. I think vanilla is hotter than Rouge. I think as people have gotten older, they've been more into vanilla. I'm not going to describe my my experience with vanilla thus far, but I don't know. I'm projecting a little bit. I think like now people have moved on from liking the characters to like the moms of the characters. So it's showing the aging fan base overall. It's hilarious. Vanilla, bro. Vanilla. It's the year of the rabbit this year. You know what I mean? So maybe we'll see her like pull up with cream one of these days. She's definitely in the comic though. We'll get to her soon. I'm coming. Sheesh. All right, Eggface. The gig is up. It'll be okay, everyone. The Chaotix are here. They'll protect us. Will the robots find us in here? Shh.
You just hide behind this barricade. Everything will be fine, I promise. I am sorry I never caught your name, but if you can, will you help defend the village? I'm ashamed to say I'm too afraid to fight. You just worry about keeping these folks safe, Mr. Tinker. I'll help the Chaotix smash those bots. Hey, yo! All right. So now we have the action scene. Can I just say, what does this remind me of? What is the games I used to, Power Stone. So if you guys ever played Power Stone, that's an old Capcom fighting game for the Dreamcast. And what I used to love about Power Stone was finding new ways to attack the enemy. And you could use like the walls to like flip off. You can flip off the walls to attack enemies and stuff like that. I would love to see that like implemented in Sonic games as well somehow. Because you see him run into the tree and he's flipping off of it to like smash into like a robot or whatever. So it reminds me of like that Power Stone mechanic. You could like walk into any walls or like use poles in different ways to like push off and hit the enemy. It was great. That game's great. We need a Power Stone 3, man. Where are my Dreamcast fans at? Or is that before everybody's time? I don't know. Sonic learned from Guile, right? Sonic boom. Sonic boom. All right. SBO doing some SBO shit, ninja stuff.
Huh. Can't hide from me.
Whoopsh. Charmy like flies through a robot. He has oil all over him. Like the robot's screaming in agony as it's like split up. We've been wanting a Power Stone 3 for a long time. I know Capcom needs to get their shit together. I think they're focusing a lot on Street Fighter though. So as Capcom used to have like 8 fighters out at the same damn time. So I mean, I think it's just from a different time. You know what I mean? Yo, Squad is going ham on them. Squad is like bringing a tier list for the Sonic females. You know what I mean? All right. No, why were Sonic and the Chaotix there? Wait. Sorry.
Why were Sonic and the Chaotix there? Did my forces stumble upon a settlement, or have they figured me out?
Can I bring this down? Yeah, there we go. That's better.
Oh, Charmy. Charmy is very charming, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Did you see me playing the vinyl from the music in the background? Shit is so good on vinyl. It sounded very clean, man. Shout out to the Sonic Mania team for even putting out a vinyl of this, like an official vinyl. Sonic Mania stuff is like, it's never gonna go stale. That soundtrack is like one of a kind. And if you guys like that stuff, you should play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. They have a lot of cool, it's the same artist that works on it, T-Lopes.
Goomba! Walk tall! Be proud!
Go Goomba!
Go Goomba!
Join the Goombas!
Join the Goombas!
Otis coming through with $2 more saying, could I beat Carrot Top in a fight? You know, I'd have to do that like as a drunken master, bro. Is Carrot Top still like swole as fuck these days? Anyway, I gotta drink this. Because, you know, donations and all. Donations. Yikes. Bruv. Donations. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Otis, man. Otis always comes through with the donations every stream. The super chats are lit because of Otis over here and Big Boss. They're holding it down single-handedly. Dr. Umar, bro. I love Dr. Umar. It's hilarious. You got the TMNT vinyl. That's dope. The thing he blew up looks kind of like Among Us. Wait, I gotta go back. Does it? I think this red color, yeah, I mean, you could argue it. People are seeing Among Us in everything these days now. That's the last of them. Seems like a pretty puny rescue force. It wasn't a rescue force. Eggman was tired.
terrified of his own robots. Oh, actually, who said that? Oh, Vector said that. Whoops. My bad. Yeah, I told you Mr. Tinker was a good guy. Gah! Then he truly is a new man. What do you intend to do? Oh, I don't know. I know exactly what I'm going to do. That's my new favorite button. I can change the context of anything with that. I'm sorry, Mr. Tinker. I got you mixed up with someone else. I'd like us to start over, so... Hi, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. The pleasure is all mine, Sonic. I actually like this scene. I hope you do manage to find who you're looking for. He seems worrisome. I wouldn't worry about it. I think he's gone for good. So this Dr. Tinker thing is going to cause quite the conflict, and you guys will see why soon. But on the flip side of things, this moment will determine a lot of Sonic's future decision making in the comics in general. And it has come under a lot of scrutiny lately, and questioning whether this is actually true to Sonic's character, to forgive. And in my opinion, yeah, like I don't see Sonic as someone who's out to kill anybody or stop anybody. Like he does what's necessary to save the day at the end of the day. So if nobody wants to arrest Eggman in this sense, is it smart to arrest Eggman? Probably. If it were me, I would have arrested Eggman, but I'm a different person, right? Sonic is confident in the idea that he can stop this if it ever gets out of control. And does that put people in danger? For sure. But this is the decision that he chose to make. And I've seen a lot of heroes written that way too. Like, you know what, you're not doing any harm to anybody, but if I do catch you doing that, I'll be back to kick your ass and finish this whole thing. But these are not people that are gonna murder, like he's not gonna murder Eggman or arrest him in cold blood or whatever. But a lot of people have questioned Sonic's intentions here, and we'll see more of this soon. But this is the beginning of a type of characterization that we see debating like within the Sonic community for some reason. I don't know. Sonic killed the blank out of robot in Sonic Underground. Yeah, see, but that's a different rendition of him, right? But again, like at the end of the day, these are all separate universes and they have slightly different personalities. They're not 100% consistent. So much like Sonic from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm not expecting, you know, the next one to have all the ideals of that character within him and vice versa. So, you know, I do think that scrutinizing the character choices, Brian Young, thanks for this sub. It's a little strange to me, you know what I mean? But we'll get to that portion. There weren't a lot of people complaining about this initially, so once we get later on into the comics, then I'll talk more about it. Not Nolan, welcome to the stream. Hi, what's going on, everybody? Hey, welcome, Not Nolan. Let's give him a round of applause. Come at the right time, sir. We're continuing this read through of the Sonic IDW comics. So, Mr. Tinker really early on had some oddly devious expressions. I would totally agree with that. I honestly still think it was Eggman like putting up a front. But we'll see more on that later. Maybe so, but the Chaotix Detective Agency never does a half-baked job. We'll keep looking for the doctor. But you're free to stay here, Mr. Tinker. You've been very helpful in our investigation. Thank you. It looks like I have an awful lot of tables to rebuild. Man, fucking Eggman is such a perfect Santa Claus. I'm surprised they don't have more like Eggman Christmas specials. I would love for animations of like Eggman being this weird ass Santa in like every single year. Like they've done it in cartoons before. They made a joke about it, but I would love to see that shit. I don't know. It just seems perfect. Just looking at him here, looks like Santa, bro. Looks like Santa on the off season. I cannot thank you enough for helping these people. Don't sweat it. It's what I do. And I think it's pretty charming to see Sonic reintroduce himself to Eggman. And I think that's out of this desire to see Eggman as a different person. Like he has this huge rivalry. It's his arch nemesis overall. And as you can see, like they get a rise out of each other. All jokes aside, I do like that dynamic because they feed off of each other. These two feed off of each other, and over the years, it's just become one of my favorite dynamics in existence, more even so than Mario and Bowser, because Sonic is not like this perfect hero, and he loves the adventure and he loves to stop Eggman. Eggman loves to challenge himself by pitting himself against Sonic and seeing if he can stop him. And it's just like, it's almost a friendly rivalry at this point. But when it gets too hot on either side, things tend to change a little bit, right? The dynamic changes, and that's what causes conflict in a lot of games. And in certain parts of the games, they've worked together to stop that type of thing from happening. But it is charming to see Sonic reintroduce himself, because I think that he does think about that all the time. Like, what if Eggman were a good person? I think they would be very close, honestly. And so this is actually interesting to see. And I think they're feeding off of that vibe. I didn't mean to get off track that much, but still. I hope you'll come back to visit. Look at this. I hope you'll come back to visit. I love to show you Eggman Land once it's completed. Oh, shit. Huh? What's going on here? I think I need like the Metal Gear Solid noise. Hold on, let me get that real quick. Definitely need to get it, because I think I'm gonna need it for a lot of situations coming up. Yeah, don't bash my wallpaper, man. That's my pirate queen. That's my pirate queen on there. You guys get to see how I handle my samples too. So I'm like doxing everything right now. Is this correct? Should be correct. And hopefully this works out. There we go. Okay, cool. So I have that ready. Cool. So yeah, come back to visit. I would love to show you Eggman Land once it's complete. There we go. So that's Sonic's face right there. What's going on? What is happening here? What is he talking about? Why do you look so sinister, bruv? Eggman Land? His terrifying personal theme park? Did he just slip up with his ruse, or is he... Look at that booty, yo. Oh my gosh, Eggman is thick. You'll never menace the world with Eggman Land again. I'll destroy you first. Hey, it's Sonic. I mean, it's Shadow and Rouge. Rouge looking pretty shapely here, man. Oh shit. Okay. All right, you guys want it? I mean, hold on. I'll play it. I'll play it for the next chapter, because he just showed up, right? I wish I had buttons for all of these this music too. Okay, so now we have Shadow fully pulling up. Oh my god. Next time, Sonic versus Shadow. Hey, very nice. Yo, yeah, Rouge looking dumpy, bro. Oh my god. They knew what they were doing. Let's go. We got Shadow the fucking Hedgehog in the building. Hey. And one by one they fall. This song is such a fucking banger. I am all of him. All right, let's get into the next chapter. Here we go. Oh, look, it's fucking Yuji Naka, bro. I think anytime I see Yuji Naka, I have to laugh. Like, bro, I gave Homeboy one last chance in one of my videos. I said, yo, like, you know, Yuji Naka seems like kind of a dick, but like he seems like he's trying to turn a new leaf now. So shout out to him, and I hope that, you know, he becomes a better person out of all of this stuff after like the Battle in Wonderworld stuff. My guy is out here inside trading. How you get all that intel from Square? They're like, oh, they have a third-party studio making a new Dragon Quest game. Let me invest. Bro, you didn't think, and he got caught doing it 3 times. It's not even like 1 time. It's 3 times. My guy is going to jail for a little bit, bro. Ugh. And he's never in a cover from that. Like in America, yo, like even it would be hard to get out of jail and like make a living for yourself after it. But like in Japan, like your reputation is shot. I'm sure nobody's gonna want to work with him again. Nobody wants a scandal like that on their hands. So he's done, bro. He's cooked. He hasn't been convicted or given like a sentence yet, but he's definitely going to jail. If he has charges and you're in Japan, chances are like they have like a 90-something% conviction rate of their shit. They don't play out there. You like if you're in court, you're probably going to jail. So it's pretty wild. Either that or they fine him and he's in debt for the rest of his life. So I don't know. Shame on you, man. Can't say you didn't deserve it, but fuck, man. I had hope for you. I thought you would humbly start back and, you know, like make tiny indie games and things like that. But I don't know. Whatever. Sometimes like people's head get big over the one thing that they do. Yuji Naka, by the way, was the guy who thought of simplifying like the Sonic formula. He's not the creator of Sonic, but he was a big part of the initial portion of it. And he was into that whole one button deal. Like if you can run in Mario and jump with 2 buttons, let's just make him jump with 1 and run fast by default. That was Naka's kind of contribution to things, and his head got swole after all of that. So not the best character overall. Anyway, let's get into this, man. I just had to bring that up because I never brought it up in a video or anything like that ever since. So pretty interesting news with our boy Naka-san. Naka means inside, by the way. Did you know that? For insider trading. What is the irony? You know this? Oh man, I didn't catch the. Yo, that's tier joke, bro. I gotta pat myself on the back for that. Naka does mean inside, by the way. It's true. I'm not joking. That's what inside means in Japanese. So, inside Naka for inside trading, bro. My guy was born for insider trading. All right, let's go. So now, here we are, Sonic versus Shadow. I actually really like this comic cover. We have everybody who's in attendance. This is Yardley again, who's she did the last chapter, so Tracy Yardley. So I guess she did like a double whammy here. I think with the certain panels that she wants to focus on, she does a pretty decent job with artwork, but with dialogue, she kind of like gives it less attention. But let's go ahead and get into this. Hold on, Shadow. This is not what it looks like. Talk fast, Big Blue. Wait.
Talk. Oh.
Why am I pitched so much? There it is. Talk fast, Big Blue. We definitely heard him say he was rebuilding Eggman Land, and you know how stubborn Shadow can be.
Hey, yo. I'll admit that Eggman Land thing is iffy, but I'm sure it's okay. This isn't Dr. Eggman. That's right. Apparently he looks an awful lot like me, but I'm just your friendly neighborhood handyman, Mr. Tinker. That sounds sus. He's totally lost his memory. Me, the Chaotix, the villagers, we've all confirmed it. Losing one's memory doesn't make them any less dangerous. He's talking about himself. Yeah, okay, fair point, but You're not listening! You're not touching him! I got your hand, Shadow. Hey, yo, about to fling this dude. Time to cancel Mentok again. What did I say? Yo, slam his ass against a freaking wall. Come on, man. You're supposed to break the wall. I should have stayed in bed today. What are you standing around for? We're the Chaotix. Come on, boys. Let's help Sonic out. Roger. Yeah. This is actually pretty wild. There's no way we can keep up with them. That's actually funny. I could. I'm just recovering from defeating those badniks. So, I actually love this part of Espio. He's low-key lazy, and he doesn't, like, tell people that, but there are things that he just doesn't feel like doing. And I think he had that characterization in Sonic X as well, so I think they're pulling a little bit from that. He's funny. I actually like Espio because he's supposed to be like this whole powerful ninja thing, but at the same time he's terrible sometimes. All right. Maybe we can cheer from the sidelines? No, we find the culprit who brought Shadow here. This is all your fault. That's actually a funny line. I'm enjoying this immensely.
Goodness me. Rouge.
Yeah, you. What were you thinking bringing Shadow here? Hey, yo, like arms under the cleavage, bro? Come on. Damn, bro. Oh, wait. I think this deserves this music for some reason. This seems like the moment to play this. Shadow was already
looking for Eggman to ensure he wasn't planning a counterattack. Shadow isn't really one to pull his punches. Anyone who got in his way, like, say, some certain detectives, might get hurt. So isn't it convenient that you got that anonymous tip when you did? You had plenty of time to find your target, verify him, and bring in Sonic. By the time I helped Shadow find this village, your investigation was complete, and you had a handy, heroic countermeasure by your side.
Wait, how could you know about the tip unless... Oh. I don't get it. It's Charmy. Charmy's hilarious. Having trouble getting past me? Oh yeah, should I bring back all of me now? Where is it? There it is. Having trouble getting past me? I thought you were fast. Ugh. I love that their fight takes them like halfway across the world. Look, I get it. Eggman's been a grade A jerk for years. Fing, creak, splat. But he's also done some good stuff too. Like, remember that business on the Ark way back when? He helped us save the world. That shit was bare bones. That shit was below the bar, Sonic. Okay, so he kind of started that mess too. It's not like he was aiming to destroy the world. Hold on, I'm not done yet. Brooding. Okay, what about the Black Arms when they invaded? Remember all that? Eggman fought the alien invasion with us. Without him, we may not have lasted as long to save the day. Thanks. Ugh. Bro, Sonic trips on something? I've always wanted to see Sonic actually trip on something because I figure if he ever tripped, he'd go flying like a mile. Bro, that was the most cliche thing to trip on. Yikes. Have you forgotten that he made you suffer? That he's tried to destroy you multiple times? How can you even suggest lenience for him after all of that? You tried to destroy me in the past too, remember? You even tried to obliterate an entire planet. So what, you want me to take you out with Eggman? After all, if he can't be forgiven, can you? That's actually a good point. Yeah, that's what I thought, bitch. Look, you. What is your plan for him? Let him stay in the village. He's been helping them out, so I was gonna let him keep doing his thing. I want to nail down what he thinks Eggman Land is first, though. You distracted me, lured me away. Well, yeah, because you wouldn't listen to... Nerds. What is that? What the hell is nerds? Is that some Gen Z lingo I don't know about? Did he just say a racist slang? Oh, nerds is a slang of nuts? I've never heard that before. Who the fuck says nerds? I'm trying to figure this out. Have you guys ever seen this in the wild ever? So Ian Flynn's nerdiness is showing here a little bit. I'm gonna be honest. What the fuck? Yo, Sonic, come on, man. I've heard Ian Flynn speak on podcasts and things like that, so like this is clearly him projecting himself. Ugh. Nerds. All right, can we... Yo, Sonic is canceled, bro. Canceled. Anyway, Sonic says nerds. It's kind of like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. Let's mosey. Y'all remember that line? Sometimes like your favorite characters are at the mercy of one writer and one writer alone. So nerds will forever fall into infamy. We'll never forget. 5 years ago, Sonic the Hedgehog IDW nerds. Ugh. I've never heard of nerds. Okay, so nobody in the chat's heard of nerds before. All right, so it's not a... I'm not too old for it, and I feel like I'm too young for that. That seems like something that you would hear like... like nerds say like at the D&D session back in the 70s or some shit. Or in the 80s. No disrespect to nerds, because I'm clearly one too, but you know, the lingo comes from somewhere. Look, it's an acorn. Is this a Sally Acorn reference? What? Word? All right. I see him on the horizon. We're prepared for him this time, and speed can't do any good against a solid wall. My guy, I'm gonna beat your face in. He's gonna beat our face in! Ah! That's actually pretty cool. Oh, it's a pine cone, right? It's not an acorn. I'm just kidding. I know what pine cones are, right? Your boy knows pine cones. There's a Pokemon based off of pine cone. Pinecone, which actually sounds like a pine cone cat fusion. Anyway, so he chaos controls through the wall.
Man, you're stubborn. You don't have to do this.
I already discussed it with Sonic.
Aha. All right then.
You, Mr. Tinker. Hey, yo, can we get Keanu Reeves? After I finish playing Cyberpunk, I actually think Keanu Reeves would be a decent Shadow. I'm not gonna lie. If he uses his fucking Johnny Silverhand's voice for Shadow, I would be cool with that entirely. Though I think that, you know, people circle jerk around Keanu Reeves a lot. I think it would be a decent role, in my opinion, as long as he doesn't phone it in. Because Johnny Silverhand, he didn't phone in too much. I think if he delivered this the same way, he'd be in good shape. I'm just saying. I just realized, like, as I was imitating Shadow, that it sounded a lot like Johnny Silverhand. So, or the delivery at least. Yes. Show me Eggman Land now. I really didn't want to unveil it until it was finished, but I'll make an exception for you. I like how like Shadow's cutting through all the bullshit and like getting right to like the idea, like what the fuck is this Eggman Land that you're talking about? You wanted to voice Shadow in Sonic Movie 3. Yeah, so a lot of people have been saying that. I think that they already have ideas in mind. Keanu, I think honestly, if he's not overbooked, he would definitely do it. And seeing John Wick is probably wrapping up, he'll probably have space for it because it's releasing next Christmas, not this Christmas, but the following 2024. So they probably even gave it that date so they can book Keanu in advance or all that. But if it's not him, some people have been saying Robert Pattinson. I have not seen the Batman, so I'm not sure like how his delivery would be. But if they want a younger actor for that, because Keanu's like he's pushing 60 right now, right? Even still, I think he'd do a great job. Ta-da! Eggman Land. Oh, that's kind of cute, actually. It's like a small version of like a small innocent version of what he's always thought. Chris Pratt would make a great show. Please do not even put that in the atmosphere. I know there's only 12 people in my chat right now, but I feel like you putting that into the chat is gonna like feed into the YouTube algorithm, and then somehow everybody at Paramount's gonna think that we want Chris Pratt as Shadow. Bro, it's me. I'm Mario. All right, cool. Let's move along.
Ooh, threatening.
It looks amazing. You see, there's not much for the children to do out here. I thought a nice place Play space out of the elements would make them happy. Does this mean I'm not in trouble? You're in the clear, pal. See you around, Rouge.
It's always a pleasure.
I actually like how Sonic low-key flirts with everybody. He's very flirtatious with everybody. I think they do that on purpose, but so far we've seen him flirt with Amy, we've seen him flirt with Blaze, and we've seen him flirt with Rouge. I think he flirts with all of them. I think that's just meant to keep things up in the air. My guy is the GOAT for real. One more time. All right.
And don't worry, boys. We'll count this as your gig. No need to split the finder's fee.
Ha! You're a class act. Thanks for managing all of this. Not that we could afford to split it. I love how they're fucking broke. That's such a man. Can I get like I would love a Chaotix game that's similar to like Phoenix Wright. Has some like gameplay to it, like Sonic oriented, similar, but more like focused on the detective side of things, and it's just them fucking broke for like 5 different cases. I think that would do. I think it would do well, to be honest. All this commotion over a silly name. It means different things to different people. How did you come up with it? It just came to me. I thought it sounded like a bit of nonsense the kids would enjoy. Ha, that's cool. I actually like this shot of Sonic here. I always love seeing like the Sonic symbol in all black and just like his eyes being white with the green. It's pretty dope. Is it though? Is it really harmless, or is it a sign of his memories might come back? I do hope you'll come back and see it when it's finished. Oh, I'll definitely be stopping from time to time. Elsewhere. And all flotillas... Wait. How do I get... And all...
Flotillas are... Where are we? Pitch down. There it is. This is Orbot. And all flotillas are heading in position.
Excellent. Signal my personal flagship. For your boy. You'll never know who I am.
Alright. What is happening here? It's time for me to join the Egg Fleet. It's time to move on to the next phase of my master plan. What? If Mr. Tinker is over there, why is Eggman over here? What is going on here? Wait, what? But we just saw... So who is... Next time. Answers. Oh, hey, look, we got DuckTales after this. I actually like this art style, but I'm not going to spend time reading it. All right, let me switch out this song here. I've been hearing this one for a while. What happened to my mix? There it is. Okay, cool. So what I'll do is probably one more issue. I don't know if I'll push through to the end of this. Because the end of this whole saga, so I can split it up in half and I can come back next week and then do the next set. So if I do this one, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 issues left. So yeah, so I'll make this the last issue for today. I'll keep the stream relatively short. Yeah, DuckTales jump scare. So this will be the last issue and we'll close on that note. So I'll leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger and then we'll come back next week and continue. If you guys are enjoying this, let me know. Oops. If you guys are enjoying this, let me know and then I'll continue it. I'd love to read through the entire series if you guys are interested, and we'll make this a weekly thing. Don't tell anybody else because this is going to be our secret between us. Just us. All right, Sonic the Hedgehog, Volume 7. We'll do the guided view as well so we can focus. All right, so for this issue, art is by Adam Bryce Thomas, so one of the GOATs. Ian Flynn is still writing this in particular. All right, there we go. Totes, it's a pleasant time. Thank you, Star. Yeah, the art goes hard in this one. Yeah, this is definitely a good one. This is a great note to finish on. He is the best artist of the entire IDW comics. So anytime that they utilize him, some shit's going down. That's basically it. All right, so we start with Sonic and Tails together. I think there's been a bit of a time skip. How's that thing? Wait. Let me get into voice. How's that thing not showing up on the radar? I don't know, but good job spotting it. I still can't get Tails down. Like, I can simply just switch my little gender knob here to sound more like feminine, but it's hard to like nail young boy voice. The bases we raided haven't provided any leads, but if the egg fleet is still performing maneuvers... Why is this so loud? There we go. They must be getting orders from somewhere. Take this. Connect it to the first computer you find and download all you can. Hopefully we'll get answers once I analyze the data. I'm not really a computer guy. What, did I miss an issue? Hang on. I need to check if I'm... This is number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. This is where we are. I don't know. It just seems very jarring. Like the transition felt jarring. It's like I missed an issue in between. All right, now I gotta wait for this to load again. Amazon with their garbage Kindle app. All right, let's go. I'm not really a computer guy. What do I plug in? What button do I push? I've customized it to have universal Wi-Fi accessibility. Just hit the go button. Man, I need one of those devices too. That shit comes in handy, especially if you're doing like IRL streams, which I've always wanted to do, but I feel like I'm not the best. I'm like too socially awkward for that shit. To even like emote in public, I feel like it's frowned upon these days. So it's like hard for me to find a certain vibe to go in. I'll be at PAX East this year again, by the way, in March. If anybody's going out there and you see me around, feel free to say what's up. I don't know how to take that, but feel free to say what's up. But I'm gonna be putting out some PAX content on the channel. Otherwise, PAX will probably blacklist me. I'm just kidding. If PAX, if you're watching right now, we're good, right? I'm sorry I didn't do anything with you guys last year. All right, you think of everything. Let's keep it moving. So they're inspecting a certain ship. Some rogue ship, to find out who's behind all of this. This poor egg pond, bro. At least it didn't get demolished. Boom. This actually reminds me of the intro to Sonic Unleashed. I would have loved to play the game leading up to that intro scene of Sonic Unleashed, where he just goes into freaking Eggman's spaceship and freaking destroys everything. That was like the most overpowered moment for Sonic in general, man. That's like one of the best intros of all time. Well, what a surprise. Who's saying this? Oh, it's Dr. Eggman. Well, what a surprise. Dr. Eggman, I knew it was only a matter of time before you showed up to spoil my fun. I just didn't realize you'd come all the way up here to find me. But no matter, you're still too late. The gears are already turning. My latest genius plan is... Whoa. Save the rent, Faker. Faker? I've seen the doc. He's fine and he's not here. You've got this act down pat, though. So who are you really? Of course, you'd even ruin my feint. My loathsome copy. I feel like can we put like a Goku powering up sound in the background here? Because this is what I feel like that's what's happening. I need it for the moment. I gotta do it for the lulz. What the fuck's going on? Metal Sonic? Oh my god. It's Metal Sonic. He's pulled up. Everybody give him a round of applause. Welcome, Metal Sonic. Oh, where have you been all this time?
Neo Metal Sonic. Bum bum bum. Ba, 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 ba. Dope.
Oh yeah, the new name to go with your new look? You tried to take over the Eggman Empire, but me and the boys opened up a couple of cold ones and kicked your butt and turned you back to normal. Peace. So canonically, this is indeed the last time we have seen Metal Sonic. Metal Sonic still wasn't in Frontiers or anything like that. So honestly, like, I still think that Shadow and Omega just destroyed his ass in the background. Like, we see him in Sonic Forces. I mean, he's in Sonic 4 as well, but I think that's more like a prequel, and I don't know if they're like counting Sonic 4 anymore. But we see him in Sonic Forces, but we find out that's all an illusion made by Infinite. So I'm still waiting for Metal Sonic to pull up back in the games. Sonic Mania doesn't count either, but yes. This was a great... This is the first time we see Neo Metal Sonics in Sonic Heroes, and it's quite the reappearance. As you said, King Raiko, this is something that I've been wanting, and I think Metal Sonic was the perfect person to kind of take over after Eggman is AWOL for a bit. So Sonic Mania was just like Sonic CD Metal. Yeah, it was basically that. Like, Mania is kind of in its own universe at this point. So oh yeah, since the whole Phantom Ruby shenanigans, that was just Sonic CD Metal Sonic. So yeah, it wasn't even like the actual Metal Sonic. It was just Metal Sonic in that time frame or whatever.
Lord Eggman repaired me. Remove the rebelliousness from my coding.
So how did Eggman get his hands back on Metal Sonic? They didn't address this, because at the end of Sonic Heroes, it's Omega and Shadow that are carrying away the corpse of Metal Sonic. So it's weird that somehow he got him back, but whatever. I don't gotta think too hard about that.
But you know this. We've clashed since then. He decided to upgrade me to this form once again. I was to be his greatest weapon in the final battle.
Oh wait, we've clashed since then, so when would they have fought? Are they retconning that? Metal Sonic was not an illusion in Sonic Forces? I don't get it. Or maybe they're talking about Sonic 4, or maybe they're just covering their ass, I don't know.
But I was completed too late. The war was lost. You had ruined everything once again.
Maybe Sonic Rivals.
I was given the Doctor's biodata, his genius, his drive, his vision.
You didn't know Metal Sonic was a mumble rapper? I was gonna go all in on that joke and like play a mumble rap beat and start talking as fucking Metal Sonic, but I'm not gonna do all that. He was in Free Riders. Is that canon? I feel like Riders is its own like freaking universe as well. But hey, I think everything is one now.
But I serve the Eggman Empire. The only one who can truly rule it is Dr. Eggman. I decided I would use his persona to ensure his reign remained unbroken. Ah, shit!
Did I close it? Okay, cool. I almost fucked up there.
I will conquer the world for Eggman as Eggman, and you will tell me where he is, so I may hand over control to him.
Adds up. Explains why I ended up fighting your Phantom instead of you. Just one teeny tiny problem with your grand evil scheme.
Oh, and what might that be?
I'm gonna whoop your spiky butt before you conquer anything. Kapow, boom. Damn. Good move by Sonic here. He preemptively attacks Metal during his monologue, which I think is like some dirty fighting, but that's fine. That's honestly, I don't put that past Sonic. That's a dope little move there. And the next few shots are actually really well done. So I'm gonna take a look at each of these. Just the scale, this looks like it's a very hard hit. And we see him follow up with a combo kick. So I love the facial expression here because it looks like it's straight out of like some kung fu movie or like some anime. This is very well done. And like the sidekick, I always love when I see Sonic using his legs and fists to fight, because a lot of times it's very easy to just make him roll up in a ball and like attack people. So that's why I think Sonic Frontiers is such a refreshing take on combat for Sonic, because I think that he does incorporate these moves and he has like a lot more to him than just rolling around at the speed of sound, if you get my drift. So Sonic Fighters too, right? the freaking 1-2 kick, fucking march. Hey, but they've had this idea for him for a very long time. If you just look at Sonic the Fighters, yo, he's wailing on him, bro. My guy is getting got. So if anybody questions like the extent of Sonic's power, this is it right here. Like, he can just do this in, you know, bare bones form. And like, yeah, like, I'm glad that Frontiers reintroduced skills the way that they did, because he should be fighting like this. You mean your Sonic Drift? Hey. I love it. I love it. We're all comedians out here. Ha! How do you like that?
I like it just fine. Sonic the Hedgehog biodata successfully copied.
I had to give that line one more. Hey, yo. Oh, right. You copy people's abilities. Forgot about that. Do-over. So this here is one of my favorite shots. The amount of detail in this particular shot is amazing. We see like the detail of the destruction on the floor, his claws grinding against like the steel or whatever this is. The amount of speed is clear from like the way he slid, and he did the same move that Sonic did to him not too long ago. Need that epic music for this fight? What do you guys want? Let me see. Let's see. Should I give it like a Speed Highway? Let's do Speed Highway then. Should I do the Generations remix? Up and down and all around. Oh wait, no, not Speed Highway. Stardust Speedway, right? Find Your Flame is too epic for this. We'll do that one later. We'll do that for another fight. I thought about it. It was a great suggestion. But we'll do that for something else. Yeah, this is Stardust Speedway. Hey. So Sonic gets absolutely destroyed in his fucking junk, bro. He's not having any kids after this one. Look at this. But the expression on his face, like everything, Adam, you outdone yourself here. This is crazy. Hey, so let the fight begin. So we see Sonic dodge out the way. Freaking Metal Sonic is throwing fucking egg pods at him, bro. This is so cool. I love that. I love how brutal that is. Like, he's just grabbing his own freaking pawns and just throwing them at high velocity towards Sonic. This panel here shows like the amount of speed going on right here. And honestly, I would love to see this animated somehow. But like, he's Sonic stress, which is great. And I love how quickly he has to dodge. Hey. So I'm not sure what's going on here. I think Metal Sonic oh, okay, he's kicking at him. All right, so he's kicking. Metal Sonic tries to make the grab. Sonic does the smash dodge away. Uses his side B. He comes back at him with the spin dash homing attack. It's baby Metal, yeah, DBZ baby. Sonic kicking like Chun-Li. Metal's copy ability is pretty fascinating and fitting, but it always makes me wonder about how it compares to Emerald Gizoid copy. I think Emerald is like a little bit more natural. He doesn't need the biodata. Metal Sonic needs that. So I think that's kind of the difference. I think Emerald can kind of just see people do things and he will be able to copy that. Okay, Battleship, sure. I can handle that on my own. Full of company of badniks? A little dicey, but doable. All that and Senor Starfish Head? Nope. Time to bail. Senor Starfish Head? Sonic needs to work on his quips, man. Ian is not even that great at the quip thing either. So that's why I prefer him to make a more serious version of Sonic. Because he doesn't nail the joke sometimes. But shout out to my guy Ian. All right, so I love this. So he comes flipping out. Bro, I just got followed by genocide. I don't know if that bodes well. All right.
What?
Look at this shot, man. So he lands the spin dash. Sonic managed to sidestep here. He's getting ready for it. And he escapes out the freaking window.
Coward.
Shows what you know.
All batteries on the landing strip. Fire!
Whoa!
All hands on deck. Full armament. All systems. Full power. Surround and disable, but I want him alive.
Got a funny way of showing it. Boom, bow, pow, pow, pow. Action. Action scenes are weird to do on live readings, but I'm trying my best here. All right, so he's on the deck of the ship. He does get hit with his cannon. Egg pawns have you surrounded? He manages to get out here. This is actually pretty cool. I'd say this is even like a callback to Mario 64. Nice shot. Honestly, like this is great choreography, especially for like a comic book. Very well done. He fucking puts a hole through an entire cannon. That's nice. Sonic is OP here. Up there with Baldy McNosehair for nicknames. I'm so mad they tried to make that a thing. I hope that they drop that 100%. I think that it was even mentioned in Frontiers, but oh look, and freaking here we are. Metal Sonic has pulled up to bitch slap the fuck out of Sonic in the left side of his face and the right side of his face. Look at this shit. Amazing. No more games.
Tell me where my master is now. And that is
the thumbnail to the stream. Somebody asked me earlier. Kill me and you'll never know.
I have your biodata. I have my original plan. I will sift through the world's ashes to find him if I have to. Tell me, or fall.
Be serious, bro. I never fear the fall. Hey! Never fear the fall. That's a reference to his world. I love that. Though Ian has a tendency to make a lot of callbacks. But since he's being criticized for it lately, I doubt he'll do it as much. But this is definitely a good shot right here. Ha! Yo, Metal Sonic, how did you leave his legs dangling? You didn't think you would get kicked in the face? This is very careless, actually. His leg is in reach of you. Oh well, whatever. His mistake. All right, so now he's falling and he's not fearing it. I love that. It's very literal.
Fool! Now I am the one true Sonic.
I like this though. This gloat right here. Hey yo, we're pulling up, bruv.
Helms box, all guns onto Tornado. Blow them out of the sky.
They're all destroyed.
Well played, Sonic. I should expect nothing less from my double. But I have won today. I know Eggman is alive while you have learned nothing of my plans. Keep us in the air and on course. We rendezvous with the fleet on schedule.
Later at the Resistance HQ. And then Tails saved my butt. The end. Can't say I'm happy about that. Regular Metal Sonic is a big pain enough. Big enough pain, my bad.
Neo Metal Sonic?
Wait, I gotta take the robot voice.
Neo Metal Sonic? There it is. Did you get a chance to download any data? Did Neo Metal Sonic say what his plans were?
I love how they're like sticking to his name, Neo Metal Sonic, like they're being respectful. That's kind of funny. Nope and nope. Sorry, but things escalate pretty quickly. Yeah, but we know it's not Eggman at least. Right. Instead of a mad genius, we have a mad genius with Sonic's abilities and limitless stamina. Savor the small victories, Tails. I'm sorry, you're right. You're right. I'm not gonna settle for that. Eggman's bases may not have any intel on current troop movements, but maybe we can find a record of his old pals. Sure, maybe we can find out what's leftover plan Neo's trying to finish.
I'll put out the call to the rest of the resistance. Hopefully with all us looking, what we can find... Whoa. We can find out what's going on before it's too late.
Yeah, old Metalhead will be maybe fast, but I'm always be faster. Bring it in, guys. Hey, yay! Victory! 1, 2, 3! Let's go, team! So if you guys notice this flower, it's actually a reference to the end of Sonic Forces. So once you beat it, at the headquarters, there's a flower at the end that grows to represent hope for the world. You know, not this heavy symbolism at all, but I think that's a nice little callback to Forces, showing that it's still there and they like embrace the fact that, you know, that grow and it represents some hope. Okay, back to Metal here. Let's see what he's plotting.
Bring all ships into formation. Begin the docking procedures. Take all the time you want, Sonic. I've already won.
Next time, Sonic, Silver, and the Whisper of a New Hero. Hey, some good characters being introduced in the next comic. So here we see the airship pulling up to Angel Island, and this is actually pretty well done because we see the Master Emerald shining in the distance. So we know that's what he's there for, but we also see like the rest of the island a little bit, but as well as all the other fleets pulling up. So this is what it's leading up to. A pretty large confrontation on Angel Island itself, and that will be the end of this saga, but we'll get to it next stream. I'll come back and read this, the rest of this particular one, because we got some exciting introductions that are coming up. We get to meet Whisper, who is another OC character within only the comics, but also we will see Silver and his newly formatted personality that we see in the comics that eventually will transfer over to the games, I'm sure, if he ever comes back. But that is the first 7 issues of Sonic IDW. Thank you, King Raiko. Thank you guys for sticking in. Star and Sora, Jet 2K5, Ken's Familiar. This was a blast to do. I love this comic book, especially like the first 2 or 3 arcs. I love very, very much. Especially the second one. So when that's coming up, I'll probably be the most excited to review that because I think that's when they kind of peaked. But this has been an absolute blast. This is something a little bit different I wanted to try out and see, you know, what you guys think, and like if my live reading is cringy, if it's not, or, you know, if there's something that we want to do moving on. So I'll come back next Friday. We'll do the next part. If we want to make this a usual thing, we'll see how the next couple of streams do. But in the meantime, I want to thank everybody for joining me. Thanks for the donations, Otis Small, Big Boss. I do have a video coming up, I guess in the following week. I'm going to take a little bit of a break for the rest of the weekend. King Raiko, Ken's Familiar, Shadow and Friends, Matt, everybody who was here earlier, thanks again for your viewership. And I appreciate the time. With that said, I'm out. Peace out. The Prophet has spoken. Later. Everyone have a good week. And Happy New Year again. Let's see them New Year's resolutions come to fruition. All right. Peace.